handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to an exciting episode of TigerTails Radio. I'm your host, TK, and in the studio we should have an Angel Duck song.
Hello.
Who sounds a lot like Felis, apparently. There's also Felis.
Hello.
Who sounds a lot like Angel Duck song. It's magic. And hailing all the way from across the seas, we have a Xavier.
Hail.
Hail, Xavier.
Worship me now.
No, worship me, because if you are watching on YouTube, I has a wolf.
Kneel before Zod.
Kneel before the wolf.
Look at the camera.
Hail the glow cloud.
I don't want to look at the camera.
You're gonna have to, because otherwise it looks like you're asleep
It's got to keep my head
all the time.
up. Rockabye TK falling asleep. The only downside is that where we all speak, and so the audio all goes into the device, I have to turn the lip sync option off. And therefore, if I want the mouth to move with the thing, I have to really, really open the mouth while talking.
Like it didn't do when you were saying if I want the mouth to move.
Yep.
Exactly. It's quite silly,
Wow, it's like the Muppets.
but stupider.
Focus
Far,
on being a
far,
balcony
far
Muppet.
stupider.
So did you guys, even bother to change from what you wore last Monday?
Yes.
It's just, this is their Monday shirt.
One of my socks is different, as is my underwear.
Yes, because your underwear this time is Alex's.
Oh ho ho!
No. You know it's too much.
I think it's time we killed him. He obviously knows far too much.
He knows too much.
The Hearthstone video's gone live. Dear
Yes.
YouTube, thank you for telling me that. Now tell me TigerTails Radio has gone live with their broadcast.
Oh,
They are
God.
live. I'm watching you.
Hearthstone. Hearthstone.
Yes, Pete's played Hearthstone.
I guess that means we got to make better content then, other than no card game. Children's card games.
They fix everything, you know.
No, they don't.
What, children or card games?
Card games on
Children's
motorcycles.
card games.
Oh, a combination of the two. Mute you fucker.
Combine children and a card game, and yes, you defeat many things.
We will
Is that like some
defeat
sort
the
of Voltron
world.
thing?
Or something.
I play this orphan in face-down defense.
I'm not going to continue that one.
Yeah.
I flip summon lovable chimney sweep.
I do have to
I
wonder,
stopped.
Pete, since you can, listen without us hearing it, can you just check out the feed to make sure the lip syncing is near to the truth? Doesn't have to be perfect, because, we've never broadcast perfect lip sync before. But, just something close. That will do. Obviously, it would help if the other two would speak, so you could see their lips moving as well.
Well, to be honest, I mean, the wolf seems to lip sync quite well. Alex, I can't tell because his mouth is in his mic, and Felis, well, you can see the strings.
Unfortunately, this is the only way I can actually
Be heard.
Yeah.
It's true. I did used to be a cast member of Terrorhawks.
Oh. Explains so much.
Doesn't it?
I know, right?
You do still need to, watch the camera.
But they've
Why?
got
What's it
all
gonna
their
do?
digital devices in front of them. I've got two cameras pointing at me now. I've got more than they have.
Oh my.
Because Pete can see me on that hangout.
When I turn it on, yes.
Yeah. I can't see Pete. I can see a kite.
Yeah.
How do I... I can turn my camera off. And now Pete can see the radio picture, and bandwidth has probably increased slightly. Hurrah for bandwidth. But yes, it is now that time where we must discuss how the week has been. So, Mr. Xavier, your
Yes.
week. Tell me.
Oh, well, I witnessed the hilarity that is now the fence rig. I can just imagine you trying to enunciate every word in proper Queen's English whilst leaving your mouth as open as possible to be noticed.
Enunciating. It's like enunciating, but louder!
Yes.
I want to know why, when I'm looking into the camera, he keeps his eyes closed, but when I look away from the camera, he opens them.
I think
I have
that's
no
just
idea.
automatic.
Fucking
Possibly.
thing.
Just turn on stare at camera mode.
I did. That's why he's always looking at the camera, eyeball-wise. It's just not good at noticing my eyeballs. Probably because I've got such fucking weird-ass eyes.
No comment.
I have.
Wait, is that weird-ass eyes or weird-ass eyes? Because one of
Weird-ass
those things
eyes.
I don't want to know more about.
Yeah, my week's mostly been filled with work again. Bank holiday week, it's weird because it's like, and then weekend.
Well, my week was like so long and draggy. I don't know. Oh, hello. It's a good job, Pete. You weren't looking at the. Well, I wasn't showing you our webcam because it's just fallen into a glass, as they do.
As they do.
You can go up there. I don't actually need you. You can.
But I have been getting back into the habit of actually recording my gameplay now, so I've got videos to start pumping out, which is nice.
You had a very productive weekend, didn't you?
I did. The writers kind of didn't, because the NaNoWriMo thing.
I
was a
tripled the
washout.
day's word count. There.
There.
Don't see you
And then
doing any writing
procrastinated.
anymore. Yeah, well, we're good at that. That's a perk of the job.
The man in charge handed you a tablet and go, play on this, and we just watched you play on that for about 5 minutes straight.
Oh yeah, a whole 5 minutes from the 4 hours or 3 hours we were there. Ooh, massive dent.
But that was fun, actually. Chilling out in the Harbour Lights was quite fun.
Yeah.
I actually need to watch a film in there one day.
One day.
One day.
One day we will all watch a film in the Harbour Lights. Not sure when. Especially with Ocean giving me free tickets when they arrive.
Eventually, yes.
Ha 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 ha.
And well, Sunday, chilled out, finished all my editing, did some roleplay, and then back to work. A little bit later than intended because I missed the train I should have caught, but hey ho.
Why did you miss the train on... Oh, what, from work?
From home to home from
Work.
Southampton.
Oh, on Tuesday?
On Sunday when I was
Monday?
going
That's
home.
okay. Oh,
Because we finished early and I thought I'd be able to get a train in back and get some sleep, but didn't, so.
oh. So how long did you have to wait in the station?
It's about an hour.
Well, you could have come back here, you know.
Yeah.
By the time I got on the station, it was a case of, oh, I can sit down now.
For an hour.
Yeah, well, I had my
Waiting.
headset. Just listen to some
Long,
podcasts.
boring wait in the station.
So, Felix, how was your week?
My week was spent. Well, I broke my laptop screen.
How?
It was a post-coital incident. We shall say no more.
What?
Oh, don't, you can't just leave it at that.
It was on one side of the room. They were on the other side of the room. They collided. The laptop broke.
Oh yeah, no.
Yeah.
I already know about this. This is boring. Felix is just clumsy.
You try hopping out of a bed in that manner to try to get a towel.
Why
Never
were you
needed
trying to
to.
get a towel?
Obviously, they have messy sex.
Oh, okay.
Melted chocolate,
Yeah.
Marshmallow cream,
marshmallow
Wax.
fluff.
Dove hand soap.
When did I give you guys access to the webcam?
What do you mean give?
Oh,
Well, all these
Well.
hackers around, leaking all these photos. Never know who you can trust anymore.
yeah. Leaking in more than one way in this sense.
Hey.
Alrighty.
Helped Celine move into a new place, which is a home made of angles. So many angles.
So in theory, it should be good for recording in.
Right angle, triangle, curt angle.
No, it's everything is built along the lines of a trapezoid instead of a block.
Makes perfect sense.
Even the hallway is slightly off kilter and ramped. It's weird.
What you want to do, put all the pictures up and then slightly tilt them and then just watch her go crazy.
Yeah. My mum still hadn't noticed the picture that I tilted in my last visit when I went there to pick up the last of Celine's stuff.
You're a bad, bad man.
Oh, it's even better, because I told her that I tilted the pictures when I hadn't, which means she thought they were tilted and tilted them all slightly to the right.
You are a cruel, heartless bastard.
I know.
I applaud you. I applaud you hard.
So
With
there's-
his ears.
Of course,
Oh,
there's
yes.
the writing thing, which variable turnout means that only Pete and TK showed up.
Which means the next one I can't get to and will be packed.
Yep.
Yep.
Because naturally.
Visited the family over the weekend. Because
Yay.
Yay, famals.
Oh yeah. And my girlfriend and my mother spent their time opening bags of Skittles and M&Ms and sorting them all by colour,
Okay.
whilst I played all of the trailers for Monk that were on YouTube, and nobody got it.
Aww.
They're doing it for some market stall thing that my mum's doing soon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
She's going to sell individual...
No, she's actually
Colours.
arranged with like 2 different colours in each bag.
So it's pretty.
You know those little tube bags that, for example, Strawberry Millions come in?
I'll go
Yeah,
with
it's done
yes.
that, but it's like alternating 2 or 3 colours.
Whereas I mix all my Skittles and M&Ms together because I want to watch the world burn.
I've done that, you know.
So have I. They're very tasty.
What?
No, they just left. Skittles, and
M&Ms.
M&Ms mixed together, and Smarties all mixed together.
They're delicious. More people should do it.
Enunciate. Enunciate.
All of the words.
And then, of course, we had more housemate drama.
Oh, is this on top of the last drama?
This may be the drama that you saw on Facebook during the week.
Oh, the picture of the,
Oh,
violence
there were
and
more
blood and-
pictures. We found the knives and the razors,
Pardon me.
hidden them behind the stuff on the dryer.
Okay.
Not worrying in the slightest.
New. But it's come to a point now where he is most likely to be kicked out very soon.
No, he will get kicked out. It's not going to be a case of most likely. He will get kicked out.
And hopefully get the help he really needs.
Shotgun to the face.
I was going to say a double-decker bus, but hey, whatever works.
Well, if we're going to throw people under the bus, why not?
So, Alex, how was your week?
Oh,
Throughout this, should I throw Mum from the train?
Oh.
My week has been very busy. Very busy at work. Just all of the, fuck yous, Alex. All of the fuck yous.
it
yeah.
sounds it. It really, really does.
Yeah, you know when you text me on Sunday, I woke up at 5, 6 in the evening.
Really?
Oh,
Yeah, and then I was just like, I can't be bothered to do anything.
Wow.
ouch.
That's why your character was remarkably cooperative during roleplay.
The day before, I didn't do anything because my girlfriend was ill, so I just spent my time.
Mopping up.
No. No, she threw up in the toilet, luckily, every time. So that was good.
It just magically appeared.
All over the walls.
And the floor and the ceiling.
And in the shower. And in the sock drawer.
Oh,
I think it's funny. She was told to give pills. She was given pills because she gets stomach pains a lot. So they say, oh yeah, if you feel like you're gonna throw up, just take these pills. She takes them and she throws up because of them. I feel like the doctors trolled her.
Troll pills. I had troll pills once. They were called Tramadol. And they fucked me up. You know, on the
Yes.
back, you get that list of possible side effects.
Yeah.
Well, for me, it was you will get XYZ, everything on that fucking packet.
I've actually seen some of the strangest side effects that are listed on those things.
Yes.
Especially things like tramadol, because it is one of these big medications that are full of all
Anal
the drugs.
leakage is one that I'd rather just not take the medication.
Yep.
Constipation was one of tramadol's. I'll never forget that.
One that I saw in one medication was increased urge to gamble.
What?
Yeah,
What?
but you take all the fun medication.
I still got to fill out a prescription for sleeping tablets.
Oh, good God. Seriously, just some painkillers, alcohol, you'll be out like a light.
No, the last time I accidentally combined painkillers and alcohol, I'd wished that I'd be able to pass out. Because it was cocodamol. And then about an hour or two later, I forgot I'd had the cocodamol and had a bottle of beer.
Oh,
The rest of the night was spent with much pain.
yeah.
Generally, you can get away with a small amount of alcohol with cocodamol. Only a small amount, not above your daily limit.
But no, this was just 2 cocodamol and 1 bottle of beer. It left me wishing that I could just crawl in a hole somewhere.
Wow.
Yeah.
You lucked
So-
out.
Rest of your week then, Alex.
It was nothing. It's just been really work centric. As now I've been at home all the time, haven't I?
You have been home most days, mostly because the plans you had kind of got scuppered by illness.
Illness or other people's illness or nobody doing anything. So I've just been sitting inside catching up on things and planning for my time off. If I'm gonna
When he's going to play the
you-
shit out of Destiny.
Yeah, that reminds me. Did you actually remember to pre-order last night?
Nope.
Like you wanted to be reminded.
I know.
You did.
No, because he didn't get reminded, Felix.
He's
I
been
did.
reminded now, so he's going to probably pre-order during the show.
I meant to shave as well, but
I've been to do that for like 3 days.
Yeah. I'm starting to get a bit of a 9 o'clock shadow in the gap between the hairy bits.
There's a sentence.
so I do
It's
apologize.
manscaping and there's nothing wrong with it.
Exactly.
Ow, I just broke my finger when I poked it down on the arm of the chair.
So, TK, how was your week?
My week hasn't been too bad. We had a bank holiday Monday. No, we didn't.
Yay.
Did we?
No, we had it. Well, we had it last week, but
Yeah.
we had a show on that Monday. So
Yeah. And it was nice, because that means there was a 4-day work week.
Yes.
That 4-day work week was the longest fucking week ever. And I mean ever. Oh my god, that week just wouldn't fuck off. And it was a shit week to boot. It's like, yeah, you work in a financial institution. Tax year end is really busy. Yeah, fuck that. That's child's play compared to this week. Have fun. Kill everything. And
me.
so, yeah, I got home most nights and going, I'm really fucking tired. I'm still waking up like half an hour before the alarm goes off as well.
Ouch.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
annoying.
Yeah, I remember seeing TK one morning. And he's... Like,
Yeah.
fucking fucked everything.
That was like,
You're okay, TK. It's like I keep on waking up before the
that was
alarm.
a couple of weeks on Facebook, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I did it today as well.
Oh.
It was annoying as shit because I was feeling fucking rotten today. I ended up going home like after an hour of being at work, and I was like, nope, fuck this, going home. I've had enough. And so, yeah, when you've eaten something that doesn't agree with you,
Yeah.
and sometimes you can just oomph and it gets out of the system, and other times it lingers.
Yeah.
And goes, today is going to be a day of hell. Have fun. You're going to enjoy this. Yeah, no. I think I've managed to narrow down a food group that no longer agrees with me.
Okay.
And that's that pre-processed ham stuff. Like
Ooh.
sandwich ham.
Mm.
I don't think that agrees with me anymore. Because the last couple of times I've eaten that, it has killed me.
Oh,
It
man.
could be the fridges, though, that they store them in.
Oh no, because I've had batches from Tesco, I've had batches from Co-op, and it's been a variety of meats, and they've all had the same effect. So I think it is definitely the sandwich meat that does it.
So
Fuck everything! I like sandwich meat; it's tasty.
maybe it's just brine that you don't like.
I know, because things like frankfurters and other brine-based products don't seem to bother me. It's just that sandwich ham or meat, because it isn't just the ham; it's the turkey and all the others don't agree with me either. And now I'm beginning to understand why I buy duck rolls at work in the co-op. Well, that aside, they're duck, and they're fucking lovely.
I've never really been partial to duck myself.
Get out. Like that Chinese we bought the other week, Pete.
Yeah,
It was
duck and duck and duck and duck.
With duck. Some duck, a bit of duck, some spring rolls that were filled with duck. And
Yeah. This is the part where I started listing off the spam routine last week, wasn't it?
Yep.
spam. Egg
Duck with a side order of duck. Duck seasoned with duck, with more duck on the side.
with duck sauce. Not
And
as
then
bad.
some spam.
Not as bad as that trip to Little Buddha, where we got. Well, I got through about 4 ducks single-handedly.
Yeah, Jesus, that was bad.
Oh, that was not bad. That was delightful.
So that's been our weeks, which we've gone through in quick concession.
I also got face ring.
Yes, and
Can
face
you
ring,
tell?
yes.
I just
works,
thought you'd
it's
forgotten
scary.
to shave.
Oh yeah. You got love my hair.
And that you wanted to dress up as Bruce Dickinson for a day or two.
If you notice, the scarf's got little sheep on it. You may not be able to see it due to the quality of the webcam, but feeling a little sheepish.
Oh,
We tried looking at the model without a piece of neckwear because it's either got a bandana or a scarf,
TK,
and it's scary without the neckwear.
you are a bad person.
Yes,
Get it?
we are aware. I'm a very bad person.
so gaming news.
No, fuck that.
Click.
I know what's coming up in the gaming news section. Fuck that. Fine.
This week is all about avoiding it.
Just for you, Pete.
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
And in this week's gaming news, absolutely nothing happened. So, on to done and dusted. No? Okay.
I'm still busy getting my news pieces. I mean, not ready, but I'm actually getting them from where I saved them.
Ah, Twitter.
No, my tabs.
Okay.
He gets his tabs.
He gets his tabs. There was
So
actually
Felix,
some
headlines.
Well, there was some pack stuff going on. There was Mortal Kombat X new footage released of Scorpion and Sub-Zero. I saw the link while I was at work. Can I find it now?
Nope.
No.
Can I fuck? Oop, that pissed off the webcam.
I wasn't actually looking at the webcam. I was alt-tabbing through things.
Well, see, I've got the second monitor up in my room now, so I can see FaceRig's interface. So I know basically what it's doing and if I've pissed it off at all. Because it is still in beta, whatever you want to call it.
The correct
And
word, preferably.
it is quite prone to not working brilliantly in places sometimes.
He says sometimes.
Generally, it's quite okay. I need to get a better webcam in here so it can notice my eyes and not keep having its eyes shut all the time.
You need light.
I've got light.
You need proper light.
I don't know if it's making any fucking difference to it, but I can try.
So, Felix, have you got some headlines?
Yeah, I didn't actually get anything headliney that much.
Oh, you're. Let me.
But I can, you know.
No. I'll
Condense.
completely absorb you and take your place. It's cool. Okay. I
Well-
got some
Jokes on
headlines.
him. I'll take over from the inside.
That's what they all say, but unfortunately, my inside swallows them up. Now, PlayStation Plus members in Japan will get 250 PSP games as free play titles. It seems that the Japanese had they had like a passport system, UMD passport, where users could get discounted
Yes.
digital versions of PSP games.
Yes, they did.
Yes.
Yes. Now, from the 17th of September until the end of the year, you can get all of that for free as a PlayStation Plus title.
Oh,
Yes,
fuck,
the
really?
bastards.
Yep.
If you're in
Yes.
Japan.
Okay, so we're all getting Japanese PSN accounts and all signing up for PlayStation Plus in Japan.
Yep.
Actually, most of the really fun betas and extra nifty extras at the moment are purely for Japanese people.
Fuck them
Like
all.
the Tomorrow Children alpha and beta access. Nobody outside Japan's getting that.
You mean the Russian doll thing?
Possibly.
I swear you're getting the game wrong. Anyway, Mighty
Tomorrow
number 9
Children is the name.
Mighty number 9 beta to be available to beta backers starting the 1st of September. So that's today.
Oh.
Yep.
It seems that they'll be able to get the playable beta now.
Well, they are the
Ooh.
beta backers.
Yeah. There's
So
only,
that would make sense.
there's only one level, and they aim to have 3 levels at the end of it. So you get a taste of it, I suppose.
It's a good chunk. Good chunk for a Mega Man style game.
Yeah.
Gotta run now. Gotta run now.
Icewind
Fuck you,
Dale
boss.
Enhanced Edition is the latest old sort of styled Black Isle game to get Enhanced Edition. We've already had Baldur's Gate and Baldur's Gate 2.
Yep.
I've still yet to buy and play them. We have them now. It's the same as what the other ones have. They have cut content is being brought back. They have more items, updated graphics. Not like amazing, but like it's HD for isometric style graphics.
As long as we still get that really sarcastic talking sword, I don't mind.
No, that's in Baldur's Gate 2.
No.
Not Icewind Dale. Icewind Dale is completely
Oh
different.
yeah, Icewind Dale is. So why was I still hung up on?
Icewind Dale is
Baldur's?
very much like you are a party of player characters. It's not like Baldur's Gate where you are the main character and you have everybody else's like actual in-game.
I will play as Drizzle, the slightly tanned elf.
They're bringing a lot of stuff from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2 and implemented it because it's essentially the same system. So they have a load of spells from there which you previously couldn't have because Icewind Dale was an early game. You were based off Advanced D&D, if I'm correct.
It was a
Yes.
trilogy as well. 3 expansion types.
No, Icewind Dale. It has Icewind Dale and Icewind Dale 2, but I don't think they ever fulfilled that.
I had a trilogy box somewhere.
You probably had Icewind Dale, Icewind Dale 2, and maybe Planescape Torment or something like that.
Oh no, I remember the difference between Planescape Torment and Icewind Dale.
Yeah,
Because one of these is infinitely superior, but not in mechanics, to the other one. I God, all of us hated the combat in Planescape Torment, admit it.
I'm going to be a bit of a TK right now and just give a quick roundup of the PS Plus for this September.
It's all of the awesome.
It's all really awesome. It's for the PlayStation 4 and Vita, Velocity 2X, which seems a 2D sort of platforming shooter thing.
Yep.
PlayStation 4 and 3, Sports Friends, which just seems like
Sports friends.
sports in real life, but not like over-the-top sports.
Okay.
PlayStation Vita All Stars Battle and PS3.
Yay! Even though I've already got it because I bought it from a shop second hand and still got the Vita version for free because fuck yeah!
The only game that looks interesting is Horde, which is a game where you play as a dragon that fucks up people.
It's alright. It's also on PC, that one.
Yeah, for PlayStation 3. Jojo Danger for the PS Vita and TXK, sorry.
Which
for
is
PS
awesome. Download it. It's brilliant.
That's
Some of these are also cross-buy. So yay.
No, but they're PS.
Yeah, as in
That's
you
why I
get
just said
it
it
for one
anyway.
platform and it comes for the other platforms with it because fuck yeah, crossbuy is awesome. It is. That's how I play
It's not
Doki Doki
always.
Universe.
If you go to the PSN store and actually buy, there's one of the games on the list that's, if you buy it for PS4, you do not automatically get the PS3 version. If you buy the PS3 version, you automatically get the PS4 version.
Yeah, some of them are weird.
Yeah.
I've got one more last headliney thing, which I think people might know already. I'm not like Felix. I don't have a very varied sort of random
Selection.
selection. I not yet anyway. I will.
He's working on it
I will
slowly.
essentially assimilate that part of him. But for now, Dragon Age Inquisition unveils cooperative multiplayer. It seems there will be cooperative multiplayer for 4 people.
They've also announced all the characters.
There are 12 playable like characters of 3 classes. As obviously, Dragon Age only has 3 classes, and it seems to be very like raids, like dungeon raiding content sort of thing. Where it's
The
like
screenshots
choose
look an awful lot like that other MMO players v mobs thing that we saw the other day.
Shadow Realms.
Yeah.
Whereas the 4v1, it does look like they've essentially taken that sort of system and used it for this, because this doesn't look like the Dragon Age system at all, to be honest.
Well, it looks like they've taken the Skyrim plus mod system in general for Inquisition from the first screenshots.
But yes, that's sort of my rounding up.
I did hear of one other game getting a multiplayer aspect. Alone in the Dark Illumination will have 4-player cooperative mode.
Oh god, yeah. That,
What?
Alone
Yeah, I was going to say, it's in the title.
Dark will have a 4-player co-op.
can I say, am I allowed to fast forward these co-op pieces so I can get to the single player stuff? Like the last game.
Oh.
Whoa. Giggle. In all fairness, I fucking hope so, because fuck. It's called Alone in the Dark. Why does it need multiplayer? Wankers.
It's a new thing this year, isn't it? It's the cooperative games.
It's not that new. I mean, Borderlands 2 is doing it, and that's what, 2-3 years old now?
Oh yeah, but this is more of the thing, isn't it? It's about getting people to play together more.
Like
but at least
so-and-so,
it has confirmed that this is now coming out. We've got screenshots of Alone in the Dark Illuminations, and they do look pretty.
They could turn it into a series about the existential terror of being socially awkward, and they could just rename it Alone in the Crowd.
Moving on.
I could mute him.
You could punch him.
Red K's going, still no hat. No, there's no hats.
Not yet.
I could throw hats at them.
I can't Jedi my hat to me.
I could wear.
I'm
a hat,
tired
I
and
suppose.
sniffly.
So, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, has confirmed that they're going to have a season pass for the next DLC. The season pass is going to give access to everything, including 4 DLC packs. And instead of it being you buy it for a lump sum, it's going to be you pay a chunk of money, potentially for a discount off of everything. I'm not entirely clear.
No, what it is at the moment is it only covers the story DLC, but they might throw in extra bits like it did with Borderlands 2. And the discount is 25% off the season pass price for the moment.
They've actually confirmed in the
Yeah, it's
Panel.
on their pages.
yeah they've confirmed in the panel it will probably include 2 characters.
Yeah, one of the
And
characters
potentially
is
some other stuff.
Handsome Jack's body double.
Yep.
So for all intents and purposes, Handsome Jack.
But
yeah,
not.
they can't let you play as Handsome Jack, but everyone wanted to, so they crowbarred a way in.
Well,
We
they
will
already
give you
had-
what you want.
They already
somehow.
had a perfectly good way to do it. That was already in the base game.
Clones.
No, he had Handsome Jack actually has a body double to do all the public events for him. So
I
it's a guy
thought
who's
that's what
been-
you were playing as.
Yeah, that's who you will be playing as.
Well, his body.
Yeah,
double.
before he gets shot to shit up.
I'm not seeing a
And
problem
when you
here.
steal his voice.
And everything else.
I am now rather moist. I have a bottle of drink in here. It was chilled. It's less chilled, and it's covered in condensation. And now my lap is absolutely sodden as it all dripped all over me.
That explains.
We all
Okay.
feel that way about Handsome Jack, TK. It's okay.
Okay, so I don't need to hide it anymore then.
No.
Moving on.
Yes, let's.
It would be a no-brainer for Activision to buy GTA and 2K parent company Take-Two, says analyst. So this is talking about the rumours of Activision, who may want to buy up completely Take-Two.
All together now. No!
Basically, you're talking about Mike Hickey, aren't you?
Yep, it makes a lot of sense according to the.
Well, it makes sense to him because
analyst.
apparently the only thing they have in common is that they're both looking to make movies out of their franchises, which he describes as an emerging romance.
All together
Yeah.
now. Beat head upon desk many, many times.
Well, the daft thing is, it makes sense because these are companies who have very, very large fan bases for a few game series. And if anyone can take these kind of franchises and just pump stuff out for them,
pardon me.
up to and including movies, Activision certainly is it. And they do need something other than the 4 games that they have.
Not a fan. Your argument. I am not justifying it with an answer.
No.
Well, bear
Okay,
in mind
any
that
further
if
news in the ring?
Activision do want to buy them, they're going to have to put up a pretty hefty price. Because remember when EA was turned down?
A while ago.
Yeah, they offered several billion for the company, and Take-Two went, yeah, you are seriously undervaluing us as a company. We deny you.
I mean, even DJ says, yeah, fuck Activision so very much. Yes.
Well,
Yes, that. In its entirety.
Yeah, man.
The-
Blizzard.
the daft thing is I can see them putting the money together to do it, though. That's the thing.
Yeah, they probably could. But when Grand Theft Auto cost, what, 100 million to create or something? Did Activision really have that kind of money kicking around? I know the game will make its money back if they get it right. But if they fuck up the formula and get it wrong, and it's Activision, so they will, can they afford to lose that kind of money on one game?
No, well, they
I
do.
hope to
It's
God
called
not.
WoW.
Huh?
It's called WoW, isn't it?
Yeah, and they're hemorrhaging millions of subscribers a month.
Any further news from the room?
Yes, there's loads of Nintendo stuff suddenly.
Yeah, let's all laugh at them.
The new Nintendo 3DS.
Yes, new versions of the 3DS and 3DS XL will be released with an extra analog controller, 4 shoulder buttons, and a longer battery life, as well as a much better processor.
Yeah, I'm getting from my channels confusion about this.
Yeah.
That's because it's called the new 3DS.
It's essentially, they put the new processor in, but basically Nintendo sat there going, yeah, okay, we know how terrible it is to browse the eShop and the Miiverse, and we also want to do HTML5, so we're going to have to do that.
Yeah, they've got a new processor in there. They've also done some upgrades to the 3D.
Yes, it's got a wider viewing angle.
Well, now the camera will actually track your head position and adjust the 3D, so it finds your face.
Also, it's also got a near-field charge.
Oh, yep. So it can support the Amiibos.
And Suiko cards, if you're in Japan.
Yep. And that'll be useful for the Smash game, which I can't remember the name of. Smash
The
Brothers
thing is trying
something.
to shoulder in on Skylanders' success.
Yep. And Disney Infinity.
And Disney Infinity, which is... Yeah.
So it's actually been going for over a year now, can you believe? And it hasn't collapsed in on itself yet. How?
At the same time, new 3DS consoles will be coming with a pre-installed filter, which limits what websites can be visited using the built-in web browser. The filter can be turned off for 30 yen.
I thought you were going to say minutes.
No.
You can look at porn, but only for half an hour.
Yeah, it's 30 yen or 30p charge, which is deducted immediately when you register a valid credit card.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And according to Nintendo, the filter is going to be used to prevent children from looking at harmful websites. And you should see the Pornhub statistics on what platforms the people watch porn for. There's a surprising amount of 3DS access.
And PlayStation users.
Yeah.
Hey, PlayStation. It didn't say what you're playing.
But I guess that's fair, and the 3DS has been involved in a not so child-friendly activity recently.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Divulge.
I'm trying to remember it. Yeah.
Whilst you're looking that up,
Yeah,
Somebody
basically,
taking 3D photos of their colon.
People were actually sharing 3D porn pictures.
This is how big my wang is. In your face. Look at the way it comes out of the screen.
Oh my god, it's like it's slapping me, and the slider hasn't even been turned on.
oh god.
But on the other hand, this is
We are bad people.
No. On the other
it's
hand.
the least evil way of them doing it, at least.
Yeah.
With the filter thing, if you're an adult, you can just register your credit card, really tiny.
Yeah, why even bother having the fee? If you register a valid credit or debit card, then that should be it. Why do they want to
What they might
charge
do
us
is
to
just
turn
add
off
it
the
in
filters they impose?
What they might be doing is taking that 30p and just put it in store credit. I don't know.
Well, see, if they did that, it wouldn't be so bad. But it just seems like a charge to be able to use the device for one of the purposes for which it was sold.
Yeah.
The web
Don't mind it
feature is a feature. It's one of its selling points.
Nintendo are marketing all of their current consoles as extremely family-friendly things.
Then don't put a web browser on it.
Yeah.
You can't
Moving
have
on.
family-friendly and web browser in the same sentence.
Moving on.
Apart from IE6 now, because I can't look at any of the internet.
Yeah, I say it's not perfect, but it's probably the best way they could do it at the moment.
Dear God.
Given the other
Game
options.
stories still have a long way to go, says Call of Duty dev.
Well, they'd know. Their stories have way of a way to go.
So this is Sledgehammer Games co-founder Michael Condry, who says developers should do more in terms of depicting things like emotional attachment between characters and loss.
I was actually privy to a conversation recently about the Fallout Online that's coming out, the fan thing.
Yep.
Which somebody actually tried to say, you know, what the fuck has Fallout got over Call of Duty? Call of Duty's got a much better open world than Fallout ever. I was like, wait, what?
Fallout has a plot.
Fallout has an open world.
You know, I'd like to say that I just think that people who play Call of Duty, and maybe 80% to be polite,
They're not real gamers.
no, they're stuck in, like, Call of Duty land, where there is only Call
That
of Duty.
sounds like the world's worst theme park.
But it's true.
Let's go to
I mean,
Call
there
of
are
Duty land. Yay!
There
We're
are
not allowed
people
to
who
open the
buy their
doors.
console and buy 2 games, Call of Duty and Madden, and that's it.
Yeah.
Or FIFA if you're British.
I think
Yeah.
that's why Activision really, really wanted Bungie.
And EA, probably.
Because they're better at working some form of narrative into their games, as well as making a solid experience at the same time.
Dear me. But anyway, he carries on referencing Call of Duty Advanced Warfare's story. He admits that developers can and should do more to go deeper into stories. Apparently, they really looked at the narrative execution, not just Kevin Spacey's performance, name drop, but the whole story arc. Right now, we're all talking about this third golden age of television in the US that inspires us. Games have a long way to go to deliver the emotional narratives we see in, say, Game of Thrones. We have to learn lessons there. We have to think about emotional attachment to characters, provocative situations, loss. We need to make those big part of video games.
Games are growing up, yo.
I'm sorry, wait, you shouldn't really bring up Game of Thrones when you talk about improved narrative.
I bet the book was probably better.
The book had about 60 to 80% less sex and rape scenes.
Well, hey! So, or did it have all that more content as opposed to less rape scenes?
It had a lot of content.
Yeah, the books actually I couldn't get into personally, but I can admit they got a fair amount of content to them.
I haven't even
It's a
started
lot of
them.
content.
I'm gonna watch the books before I watch the books. Read the books. I'm just gonna sit. Yep, they're gathering dust. They're not particularly interesting like this, but they're gathering dust.
The formerly cream pages have finally started to turn a kind of beige.
Going almost yellow as I leave them out in the sun. The ink not yet faded. Now I'm going to read the books before I go and see the TV series, which is something that would annoy everybody who keeps saying, "Have you watched Game of Thrones? Oh my god, I want to talk to you about it."
Yes.
Die.
You know what my personal little prayer is each time I come across something like that?
No.
May you go to see a Star Trek movie with a physicist.
Or a Marvel film with a
The annoying
comic
thing is,
nerd.
I've read book 1, and I've watched episode 1 of season 1, and there's already been some minor edits that I've noticed in it, but it is one of those episodes where you sit down there and you go, I'm not comfortable watching this with my parents.
I'm not comfortable watching this without my parents. I need supervision from this show.
But I think they've already seen it because they've nominated me for the Dothraki Bucket Challenge.
Felis, further news.
Ah.
Or Alex, which either.
Alex, did you want to chime in with anything, or do you still need time?
I can do news. I'm waiting for a gap, but you guys are sort of rambling. Jeez.
Oh no!
No, interruptions and shit.
News, Alex.
This is my final form.
Hit it.
It's a banana.
News, Alex.
Yeah, okay. Mario Kart 8 is getting some DLC.
America
DLC.
8.
Yes, Mario Kart 8.
On that.
Mario Kart 8. Oh.
Yeah.
Are we saying Mario Kart?
Yeah, I know. I heard America as well. Don't worry.
Oh, America.
Look,
America.
I'm the one who's got
Yeah.
to talk funny to make the wolf mouth move. You can speak normally. Please do so.
Alright, there are going to be 2 DLC packs for Mario Kart, which I don't believe has happened before.
Ever?
Proper DLCs. One is named The Legend of Zelda X Mario Kart 8, and the other one Animal Crossing X Mario Kart 8. They are
Christ.
both aimed to be £7 add-ons that will give you 8 tracks, which is 2 cups, and 3 playable characters in each one, as well as a load of DLC colours.
For £7.
£7 each. Now, if you can buy them in a bundle for £11, apparently is what they're aiming for.
That's not bad.
So this increases your race content by 50%. You go from
Nice.
having 8 cups to having 12. So you have got a 50% bigger game. In these packs, one of them will have a Legend of Zelda themed race track. The other will have an Animal Crossing themed race track.
Shocking, that.
Yeah,
I know.
But the rest will be new race tracks and pre-existing ones from old Mario Kart games, as it's sort of like, traditional to.
But for £7, that's not bad.
It's really good, actually. And it's sort of like the first real DLC I've kind of seen from. Sorry, Nintendo.
It seems they don't do it often, but when they do, they get it almost right.
Yeah.
Shocking.
They also include a DLC card that comes with it. That is F-Zero related.
Oh, like the
It's the Blue Falcon.
that was what I didn't think for.
But that's not going to have like any sort of special things. It's just the F-Zero themed card, which
Yeah.
is kind of a kick in the teeth,
and
actually.
characters. There's speculation that they're including the non-Mario characters like F-Zero guy and the Animal Crossing stuff as a tie-in with the amiibo figures that are coming out.
F-Zero guy. Okay. Captain Falcon.
Yes.
Yeah.
Our
Any
Lord and
further
Savior
news,
Captain
Felix?
Falcon.
Falcon Punch.
And they're not including him. And they're not including any race. It's just the Blue Falcon. And people are a bit like, why are they doing this? Because they haven't announced anything F-Zero related for ages. And now they give us this DLC. And Captain Falcon somehow made it into Smash 4, even though like he's not actually had a game in ages. But people, me included, bitched when he was like, no. We're all these other characters. Like, where's Captain Falcon? He's been in it since the first one. Where's Captain Falcon? He's the only character that's fun in that game.
Where?
He sat at
Toys
home
my
drinking
pram,
beer,
where?
developing his Falcon Punch.
Felis.
The mute button.
Which one?
I must press it. Besides which, Star Fox is obviously the best Smash player
Oh, for God's
character.
sake. Felis news.
Following the PlayStation announcement that the PlayStation Vita will be getting dashboard themes in the upcoming updates, Sony further announced that the PlayStation 4 dashboards are about to get a lot more customizable.
Hooray!
Oh, that guy.
Yay! The reveal happened at
PAX.
no,
Gamescom.
what's going on right now?
PAX.
Hacks.
No, the
PAX.
Tokyo
Game
pre-show.
Huh?
The Tokyo Game Show is 2 weeks' time, but the pre-shows are going on now.
Oh.
Am I missing more conferences?
Yeah.
Fuck everything!
Yeah.
It's only pre-show.
And the reveal showed completely animated themes from the PlayStation mascots, pretty much, Toro and Kuro.
Oh.
Yeah.
I want a Parappa the Rapper theme for my Vita.
You'll probably get one.
I gotta believe! For a theme.
Something to cheer you up, TK. Kingdom Hearts HD 2.5 remix trailer debuts the final mix editions.
Yes, I've seen that.
It runs down on the new bosses, cinematics, weapons.
All the extras.
All
Oh
the
my
extras that
god,
would
all
never
the
release
extras.
outside of Japan.
Yeah, I think some of it is still new to because a lot of the content there. Okay, I didn't do 100% of Kingdom Hearts 2, but there was a lot of stuff in there that was new to me, and I was like, oh, nerdgasm. Yeah, I cannot. It's like, hello, day one purchase. Merry
December
Christmas,
the
me. Merry Christmas, me again.
December the 5th.
Yeah. I'm going to say to my sister, do you still play your PS3 at all? Have Kingdom Hearts. Christmas sorted. Fuck yeah.
Brief bit of news before we move back into the room. GOG, Good Old Games, launches DRM free movie service.
Yep.
Yep.
Which-
Less than $5 movie selection launched with gaming and internet culture documentaries.
Which is pretty cool.
Yep.
I can dig that. I can dig that a lot.
I'm trying to think of how many gaming and internet culture documentaries there are around at the moment, and we've got...
More than you think.
There is a fair few out there. A quick YouTube search will bring up a lot of them, though, which you can see for free, so...
Yeah, I'm trying to remember which ones I've seen that are actually good.
There's actually quite a big industry in doing documentaries, and they're really quite good now because of these kind of things. So they're well
I hope
worth
so.
a watch. And if they're doing this, you're starting to then see more things come out to a different channel, which has dedication to retro games. So you could see a whole new
did you
channel
ever see
dedicated to the older games.
Pete, did you ever see Press Start?
Can't remember.
Oh, that was hilariously... It was bad. It was a terrible, terrible movie. It was definitely...
But it's
kind of
terrific bad.
B-mode. Oh, yeah, terrific bad, definitely. Fantabular bad. It was so funny. Sometimes it was supposed to be. Sometimes it wasn't. But it was worth it. But yeah, that's the kind of thing that I'd expect to be seeing on the streaming servicey thing that Good Old Games are offering.
Oh, Christ, yes.
Have you
excuse
just
me.
Googled it?
It's the kid with the spiky hair for no reason.
Yeah, the one who's starring the two Cena brothers from the Mortal Kombat game.
Yes, I've seen it.
Yes.
I watched that with a bemused look, especially when the Virtua Boy was brought out.
Yep.
Oh, God.
It's brilliant. It is such a bad movie. It is so brilliant. It's not quite on par with Street Fighter, but It's the B-movie equivalent to Street Fighter, I would say. That's how kind of terror-wad it is.
Oh dear me.
Now, what's that other
any
one
news
that
from
they
the
made
room?
with The power glove from that kid.
Yeah, I could have some more.
I've got more. Did you want me to fill in while you look?
Are we all deliberately avoiding a certain topic?
No. Okay.
I am too tired at the moment.
I have like an interesting little thing about No Man's Land, or No Man's Sky rather.
Oh, is that the... Yeah.
Yeah,
Go on.
everyone knows what No Man's Sky is. It's just a little thing from the PlayStation blog where they've gone into in depth about it a bit more, about the creation progresses and processes rather, and the but it has a weather system, collision to everything, and how hard it's been. Seeing as we haven't really had much information on this game, so they've kind of given us.
Do you mean like hard in difficulty, or?
No. The reason. Okay, here's one.
Or
of
hard
those
in how difficult it's been to
Okay.
make?
Yeah, how difficult it's been to make. The cool thing is that I'm taking a bit here now. The cool thing is every planet has a single number, a random seed that defines everything about that planet. So a single random seed generates every blade of grass, tree, flower, creature. So as the developer, I can note down the plant seed and I can just go back there every time. So if
Sweet.
they ever found a planet that they really liked, they could always go back to it. I wonder if they will do that for us. Like I assume you will be able to favorite planets and go back to.
A bit like Minecraft in that sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
Procedural generation. It's our zombies from the last decade.
Unfortunately, we demoed this at Gamescom, just jumping around the universe of different planets. There are no load times because nothing needs to load, as the planets are entirely computer generated, apparently. Really, this seed defines how many planets you can discover before things go a bit crazy and undefined. It goes up. This is kind of stupid what this number goes up to. By working on a 64-bit system, they have managed to get. Jesus Christ! It's a number that
They got Jesus Christ?
Yep.
It's a number.
In the flesh.
It's a number that is like, even if a planet is discovered every second, it'll take 585 billion years to find them all.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Something
Did
silly.
you have to translate the numbers by counting them there?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
I could see him pointing with his finger. Or at least I will do in 30 seconds.
yeah. So this game will have a lot of content. No Man's Sky will definitely have stuff in it. Whether it has enough to keep you there,
That's
is
another story.
Yes, I'm not too sure what else.
It
is
sounds
involved
a
in
lot like, from everything I've heard so far, it's like a shinier version of Planet Explorers as it stands right now.
It's very much seems like an exploration game.
Minecraft in space!
Yeah, Planet Explorers is pretty much if Minecraft had a baby with a HD remake of Beyond Good and Evil.
I'm just thinking of Minecraft babies now.
But the thing is,
Little mini grass blocks running around the terrain.
is it just going to be one game that they run? For example, when they set this game off, because you can name anything you find if you found it first. Species.
Is this one of these games that's going to be permanently online?
I don't
Yes.
know, but if Pete says yes, I assume it is then. Because this is the thing: if they have that much space and it doesn't take time to load all these stuff because it's already there, it's computer generated. It's nothing to do with graphics. It's sort of like you can have it preloaded, almost.
Yeah.
There's no reason to not have one persistent world that everybody plays in.
I agree.
But how do you manage that? You need some server. You do. You need some servers.
Yes.
I imagine they'll
That's
have
how
some.
a permanently online game works, Alex. I would have thought you, of all people, would have known that.
That's not true. You could have a game that's permanently online, but without servers, it'd just be lacking in content.
Or it could
And
be
access.
entirely peer-to-peer, which would be very interesting and would probably piss
Yes.
off every ISP in the world.
Right, so
yes.
moving on, do you guys want Miyamoto or do you want Peter Molyneux?
That depends. Are we talking in my pants?
No, not in your pants.
On my face.
Not in your face.
Lovingly caressing my perineum?
I'll do both. Peter Molyneux wants more developers to make free-to-play games.
Sorry.
Yeah, you laughed over me, you
I'm
bastard.
sorry.
It was just the resignation in his voice as he said on.
So, Peter Molyneux wants more developers to make free-to-play games. The Fable creator says if more designers got into free-to-play games, the model might lose its stigma. So this is Fable creator and goddess idiot Peter Molyneux, who wants more developers to start making free-to-play games, because if they do, the model may actually get up there a bit. Right now, the free-to-play sector is held hostage by Match 3 and Casino games, he says, but this could change if true games designers started making free-to-play games.
Has he seen the MMO market, where it's very rare for something to not go free-to-play?
The guy's on crack.
It is Peter Molyneux.
DC Universe Online didn't even last a full year before it had to go free-to-play to survive.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he whitters on about being... he uses free-to-play so many times, it's scary.
But there's not that much stigma to free-to-play these days.
But he says
stores
the business model, when executed fairly, should be adored by gamers because it gives them a wonderful freedom to try before they buy and never get stuck paying for a bad game.
Yeah, they're called demos, Peter. You might remember them from the 90s, when we had to have them on the front of magazines with discs. Wanker.
But apparently the release of Goddess, the reaction to that particular game's business model from some people has been overwhelmingly negative, to the point where he's even received death threats.
Yeah, that's another topic for another news article, maybe even for another day.
Definitely for another day.
I like how you...
Moving on, Miyamoto
Right now,
explains Nintendo's renewed passion for the core.
Oh, I can link straight into this after.
Good, because this is Miyamoto going on the batshit crazy market. Oh, he's basically done an interview, and we're not entirely sure if it's the translation or not, but he effectively doesn't care for the casual market and thinks they're kind of pathetic.
In his own badly translated words.
Yeah, their attitude is, okay, I'm the customer, you are supposed to entertain me. It's kind of a passive attitude they're taking, and to me it's kind of a pathetic thing. That's how they've stated it. They do not know how interesting it is if you move one step further and try to challenge yourself with more advanced games.
I'm the company that's made the most respectable casual games in the world.
Yeah.
From the company that made the most casual machine in the world.
Yep.
That won the 7th console generation by slightly more than a landslide.
Pretty much.
Today's theme is wankers. I have noticed.
He seems to be on a bit of a trip, to be honest, and then it does kind of follow with Nintendo's thinking, because the release of the 3DS, it's like it's a new 3DS, but you've kind of touting it the same way you did the Wii U. I'm not entirely sure why I should buy a new 3DS.
Because it's got a new nipple.
Well, at least you can now navigate the eShop with a Wii Pro controller.
Yeah, for a 30p fine.
Despite the fact that hardware... No, this was something else. They're finally letting you navigate the menus and everything else with a Nintendo... the Pro controller, the one that's not got the screen built in.
Okay.
Even though that controller already had full hardware button support to begin with, you just weren't allowed to do it with the other controller.
Don't ask. Anyway, Felix, you said you could link into
this. Yes. You remember back a couple of months ago we said that there'd be about 100 or so Nintendo of Europe employees losing their jobs?
Vaguely.
No,
we
I'll
did
say
that.
yes.
The proper number is actually around 320 employees of Nintendo Europe.
Oh, wow.
Who have lost their jobs as of yesterday.
Ow.
Sorry, dudes. Kind of sucks.
Though 90 of those people were temp employees who were
0-hour contracts.
Yeah, they were leased to Nintendo through a German company that Nintendo owns.
It's agency staff.
Yeah.
Technically, they counted as temporary Nintendo employees. Nintendo statement. As previously communicated in June 2014, approximately 130 permanent employees will be released by Nintendo of Europe at the end of August as part of a set of measures to better enable the European business to adapt to the rapidly changing business environment.
I like the way they're calling it released. It's like they were trapped in Nintendo. It's like needing to be freed.
As a separate measure, Nintendo of Europe is reorganizing its European Localization Development Department,
Oh dear.
where it currently uses a number of temporary agency workers in translation and testing facilities in order to increase flexibility and cost efficiency in the long term. It is intended that there will be an increase in outsourcing future translation and test activities to third-party companies on an as-needed basis, and very sadly, this has meant having to terminate the contracts of 190 temporary agency workers who were formally notified of this decision in June.
So they're cancelling temporary contracts to hire temporary contracts?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, they're outsourcing now to various companies. Let the English commence.
And I got a last brief thing.
Let Alex have a word.
I've got a little brief thing as well.
That was a word.
That is word, right? Let's
Yes,
carry
I've
on.
seen your little briefs.
Anyway,
Alex.
okay. The PT gameplay footage has been watched over 30 million times.
Fuck.
Yes, which is quite a lot.
Have you
considering-
seen the demo downloads?
the demo
Wow.
downloads? I have not.
I had it. Do you want to bring it up again? You waffle, I'll bring up the...
Yeah. But this is quite interesting, seeing as there have only been, 10 million PlayStation 4s released?
Oh, probably nearing 11 now, I'd imagine, but yeah.
And more than triple the amount of people have watched it, the gameplay.
What happens is those 10 million people, about 5 of them have got the game and have been watching it 4 or 5 times each.
Trying to figure out how
and
it
the
is.
fucking ending.
This is still quite interesting, though. I mean, even if you take into account the multiple video, I assume it's multiple videos, unless Hideo Kojima's pulling it from a few sources. But
Yeah, his arse.
so yeah, a few videos have been watched. That's, say we take off 10 million for the same people watching the same video. Then that's still quite a bit.
Yeah, that's a big number. I mean,
is.
even today we watched a PT video. Well, you watched half of it.
Well,
yeah.
When Kadikarus reviewed it.
we've broken the 1 million downloads of the demo itself.
That's not bad.
From the official link. If it's been reshared anywhere else, that's going to skew the numbers slightly.
Oh, it's a PlayStation 4 game, so you can get it from the PlayStation 4 store, and that's it.
Oh, so that's okay then.
So that's 1 million legit downloads. That's,
nice.
Over 1 million.
that's not bad. That's, considering their user base is 10 million, that's 1/10. 1/10?
Yeah.
1/10 of a user base.
I think Kojima has achieved what he set out to do with this thing.
What? To make shit yourself.
That and to basically, it's viral marketing.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's very effective viral marketing.
Yeah, I can't remember such effective viral marketing in recent years. Well, maybe last year, but
Now,
I love beers.
If the actual game is that shit your pants
That's
scary,
About 10 years old at this point, but yeah, there have been so many meta campaigns that have gone completely viral.
yeah.
And I'm happy it has worked for this as well.
yeah.
So, Felis, your last bit.
Yeah. Guess how much of South Korea's population have been affected in a recent data breach?
all
of
of them.
70%.
I was close.
Yes.
That's because you need to use your social security ID to do anything in that country, if I'm correct.
Well, it's also because online gaming is South Korea's thing.
Yeah,
They love it.
and to get
And-
online games to play them, you have to have your social security ID, essentially.
Yes.
Is that so they can report to your boss, and so when you're not in, they'll know if you're playing StarCraft?
16 individuals were arrested following the theft of 220 million stolen records from a number of online game,
Wow.
ringtone storefronts, and movie ticket sites that contain personally identifiable information related to 27 million out of the 50 million population.
Wow. That's a fair number.
These things included real name, account name, password, resident registration numbers.
Ooh. Yeah, the registration number is your
This
security number.
this information is coming from Korea Jungang Daily.
Sorry.
It's a Seoul-based newspaper. that translates.
Say again.
Is it their equivalent of the Sun?
The Korea Jungang Daily.
Bless you.
he
Hang
needs
on.
all the blessing he can get, boy.
Oh, after that incident with the laptop, he does.
Yeah, apparently they're selling the personal information online to Chinese hackers as well.
Of
The
course.
secondary damages alone are $2 million.
$2 million.
One of the hackers, known as Kim, hacked into a total of 6 online games in South Korea using stolen information, from which he allegedly stole nearly $400,000 personally.
Shit.
Yeah.
Dear me. Right, I have one last piece.
Okay.
Well, you better make your peace.
Well, this is following on from some of the bits and pieces that I was talking about. This is the IGDA, the International Game Developers Association, the Board of Directors issuing the following statement condemning the recent harassment of game developers
I knew this was coming.
and other people in the games industry. So, over the last several weeks, game developers and affiliates have been the subject of harassment and doxing attacks, including threats and posting of home addresses. While we support diverse viewpoints and healthy debate on the issues, we condemn personal attacks such as these, which are not only morally reprehensible, but also illegal in many countries. Yada, yada, yada. In addition, they are offering resources that can help game developers who are being targeted, and they have over 120 chapters worldwide. The important things of IGDA can do is to continue to serve its key role as a spokesperson for the community, and this is the executive Kate Edwards. So this is following some of the
Wait, was there a comma after executive or not? Because
what?
Was there a
don't worry,
comment?
I was making a bad joke.
Dear
As I
God. But
do.
they apparently give resource and help for developers in regards to this kind of things. They suggest developers should report any threats they receive immediately, and developers should not respond to harassers directly, and they seek the support from family and friends in addition to IGDA.
Also, IGDA will not help you hide that dead hooker's body. Stop asking,
Oh.
Phil.
I like
Siri
the
will.
fact that this is they link the Fez developer issue, the death threats to feminist frequency creator Anita Sarkeesian, and then the bomb threat to a plane carrying the Sony Online Entertainment president.
Yeah. The fuck is up in the last couple of weeks?
It's been a very crazy couple of weeks.
Let's do the grown-up thing and ignore it.
We'll try.
Some people have been doing grown-up talk. It's just that there
Brains
is...
of locusts, cats and dogs living together.
It's all because we let the gays marry. I tell ya, it's all because of that.
Oh, did I? Sorry, Axe.
It's essentially just the extremists of both sides are just doing shit. And to be fair, it was the extremists on the game side that started this, but they still then have, like, basically, you know, and then it's like a fucking playground fight.
Yeah, but over a massive scale.
Yes, with threats. And it's like, there are people like me, and probably Felix, I don't know, he might be one of those types. But we're both...
He might be one of them damn feminist type peoples, yo.
Feminist. I'm sat here going, really? Really? I will look at the actual real things we can take from this. Like, you know, some of the... I don't want to say corruption in gaming journalism, but the fact that...
Well, we say corruption. It's about the Nathan
skew.
guy, isn't it?
who?
The skew
Nathan.
of gaming
Nathan
journalism.
Grace or something like that,
Nathan.
who apparently was slept with to get favourable impressions
Oh.
of Depression Quest. That never happened. The only link he had to anything involved in this is he did an opinion piece on Game Jam, you know, that ill-fated series.
It's not just
He
that.
never actually reviewed Depression Quest. This is one of the things that it was starting over.
It's other things, which is essentially where, like, reviewers and game journalists are now, like, basically smashing, like, people who play games. I've got tweets just from, like, journalists who've been saying, it's like, anybody who calls themselves a gamer should be put to death. Like, wait, whoa. You do realize that you said that on the internet?
You
Nothing
realise
is
that
deleted.
is a massive part of the mainstream culture now.
What, putting yourself to death?
No. Gaming in general.
Oh.
The whole geek thing, it's gone from being subculture to main culture.
Yeah, and a
Where's
lot
some
of
of
the
the
people
growing-
who are journalists in our hobby, they're not the gamos and the journos. They're people who've been dragged into this. Basically,
Game just
said,
sounds like
you
a
can do
schoolyard
stuff on
haunt.
YouTube and stuff, and you can report on it, and they don't understand
Okay. Sorry.
anything.
Yeah, they are the type of people who they are not writing about games, and Kotaku is a very good example of this. They will write something to pull you in, and then we'll talk about some random tangent, not relating to the game. They might pull back to it every now and then just to say, oh, look, games. But this is very prolific.
Of course, quite
Early
a lot
on.
of them as well.
And it still is going on in other... Kotaku's... I said to TK earlier. Kotaku is a lot
is part
better.
of the Gawker network, which means they've got the pressure to try to put as
Lot of-
broad a range
Clickbait.
of things ever.
Yeah.
All of the
Well,
clickbait.
I think
there's stuff like another reviewer who's basically like talking about Total Biscuit. He's like, remind me never to let Total Biscuit or any other dismissive bullshit to ever review any of my work. And he's basically going on about, well, I can very well file a DMCA if I goddamn want to. I have that right. And there's Total Biscuit there is like, no, you don't. Sorry, you do not have the right to use copyright law to censor review and critical
Yeah,
content.
the guy. We covered this as well with all the emails that went back and forth
Yeah.
with that.
Yeah.
Indian.
But
I just say you shouldn't let Total
the
Biscuit
problem
review
with
a
that,
shooting
if I
game.
can cut in,
No.
If
the problem with that on the YouTube commenters, a lot of the complaints is about the characters of the people reviewing them, not the fact of the review. Because if you took the context of what they're saying out and actually had it in terms of like here's a factual piece, here's some opinions, here's how I review it at the end, rather than say like an Angry Joe rant or Total Biscuit rant or any of the online YouTubers who are characters,
But
they'll not have so many issues.
You can still take from them like actual stuff. You can understand when they're being serious and when they're not. It's not that difficult. It's common sense.
and it shouldn't really matter how they present that information. The fact that how they're presenting it doesn't change the information they're presenting.
Yeah.
And if your game is shite and they say it's shite, it doesn't matter if they're being serious or if they're dangling naked upside down from a hot air balloon. The game is still shite. And when developers then try to DMCA YouTubers to take down that information when it's a fair and legit critical review, that's bullshit and needs to be stopped.
Oh yeah, but then we've not moved past that yet. Even though we've got so many ways of reviewing, even us on our show, we review stuff.
Well, badly.
Yeah, but it's...
How we generally only review stuff we like anyways.
Yeah, but the daft thing is...
Some of you have.
The media and the journalism and the gaming publishers are still in the mindset of it's negative publicity, so we've got the clout to stop it. And even though they don't talk about it now, publishers still say to them, well, if you're not going to give us a good review, we won't send the next game.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's more to like the magazine type things. A lot of the people reviewing on YouTube are people like us. People at home in front of their kind of reasonably expensive camera and sound equipment, and not us obviously. Okay, collectively our sound equipment is probably quite expensive, but the actual YouTubers actually have some quite nice kit I'd like to get my hands on, but that's another story. And they are
Yeah, but that's their primary income comes from doing all this
exactly
stuff.
so they make
Angry
sure
Joe
they get the nice kit.
Yeah, Angry Joe at the beginning of the year had a video that was actually just from his bedroom that was explaining how much money he's lost because quite a few videos being taken down.
Yeah, and he was pissed.
Oh, yeah.
Very
Yeah.
pissed.
He was
It was
angry,
that
Joe.
he was quietly angry.
Yeah, that's the
worst kind
Yeah.
of angry.
That's beyond angry. That's when it was like, don't go in there. You will. He'll remove your head with his eyes.
What I call achieving a state of reverse nirvana. Where you become so angry, you come
are
out the other side.
You are
That was
pure
actually
rage.
him, not his persona. That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, and that
My
was
voice
still anger.
keeps slipping.
But you could argue that people like us who actually go out and buy these things, who actually go in to buy out for a reason. I'm not going to say this is true, but you could say that we are not influenced by companies giving us shit. And that makes
I am
ours
to a
more,
degree.
and that makes our reviews maybe slightly more honest.
I
Well,
thought you
we-
just meant the general shit.
I'm going to say
that's
we
happening.
have honest reviews, yeah, because we say what we think. We articulate it very badly, but we at least say what we think about the game. We're not swayed by a developer going, "Look at my shiny; it can be yours if you
Look.
give me a good review."
I gave you a whole crate box this time. Imagine what I could give you the next time.
Yeah.
Although, if any developers want to show us
Working
the
Metal
shiny,
Gear or
then-
G-
yeah, of course.
GTFO.
If any developers want to bribe my ass, then yeah, feel free to approach.
Oh, he's
Specifically, your ass.
Well, the rest of me can be bribed too, but
available. Didn't we?
rose
didn't
before
we-
hose and all.
Didn't you used to have a gig with EA?
That's only because we knew someone in EA.
Okay.
Yeah.
I know people in games companies now.
Bite the loot crate. They're going in dry.
Yeah, we got 4 games out of EA. That was quite awesome.
So is that it then for the gaming news?
I don't really feel like we've touched on this topic very much. Let's just summarize it in a few sentences. Nice short sentences so that people can understand. Game reviewers, good. Actual game reviewers, this is not just some peasantry pretending to review games.
Game reviews,
like what we do.
game reviews disguised as bloggers, bad.
Game companies who try to get reviews taken offline because they don't agree with them, bad.
Bad.
People who make death threats
Yeah.
because they disagree with someone else's opinion. Bad.
Bad.
That shouldn't need to be said, but
All of
apparently
that.
it does.
And Phil Fish, idiot.
Yo, Phil Fish, Peter Molyneux, that twat from Activision. No, I don't think he's there anymore now.
Bobby
That,
Kotick? No.
no, yeah, him.
And
And
Jack Thompson on General Principle.
oh yeah, Jack Thompson. And who's that guy we haven't heard of from fucking ages? So we can't pronounce his name properly.
Well, that helps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it really does.
I can't
someone
even Google search
Refresh
that.
my memory.
Pacta?
Pacta.
Oh, yeah.
Pacta, yeah. I miss
Doesn't
him.
he still chime in with market analysis shit on video gaming?
Every now and
Yes.
again, but nowhere near as often as he used to, and I kind of miss him.
I think we had a Pacta piece.
It was about 5-6 weeks ago, yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's waiting for the market on the next gens to actually pick up a bit, because at the moment it's a case of everything I've said still true. Everything I've said still true. I'm bored now. Bye bye.
Except it isn't, because he predicted they would all fail miserably, and the PS4's, kind of just done 10 million in less than a year. So fuck him, he's wrong.
So,
Basically.
done and dusted.
Oh, I suppose I've got to play Jingle now, haven't I?
Yeah.
That's annoying because I put a load of glasses and shit in the way. Alright, bear with me. Moving technology. I'm going to move that to the floor actually before I knock that over.
Instead, he'll knock it over on the floor.
I'll knock it over on the floor. Yeah, that's going to make the avatar fucking go mental, isn't it?
Well, currently he's asleep, so
Yeah, that's probably because I'm putting things on the floor in the video.
it's like he's listening to music.
Oh yeah, we've got the backing music and it's kind of chill. We're just digging along to the beat, and then all of a sudden,
It's that time where the cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is Done and Dusted.
Do we have anything for done and dusted?
Yes, actually, I'm prepared this week.
dun
Good.
dun dun,
What have you got?
because I couldn't find the sound effect fast enough.
Infamous First Light.
Oh, is that out now?
you got it.
Yep, I've already finished it. Let's talk
For
about it.
fuck's sake! It took you long enough to finish the damn first game, then suddenly poof.
It is an expansion, to be fair. It's a standalone expansion, but it's still an expansion nonetheless.
DK, have you got anything?
Yeah, but I can't remember what the fuck it was.
What did I shock
Okay,
you?
Alex, go first.
Really? Oh, God, you guys, please. Stop putting me on the center.
Oh my god, what are we like?
Okay, so I sort of found out through Twitter 4 days ago. Was it 5 days now? Something like that. That Infamous First Light was released.
Was
I
a
was
thing.
Like, well, no, I knew it was a thing. I was like, oh,
No,
it's
but
released.
now it's like a thing.
Oh, thing. Yeah, thing. So it came out, and I was like, I gotta buy this. I really enjoyed Infamous Second Son. I thought it was a really good game.
It was.
It-
I
it-
enjoyed watching you play it.
Yeah, it didn't
And
get
getting shot.
It didn't get
Many
slow
times.
or boring at any point, which is like the first Infamous kind of did get boring.
Yeah,
The
I
second
know-
one was slow.
I noticed Second Son would have peaks and troughs, but the troughs weren't really
They weren't
a
bad.
drudge.
Yeah.
They were just not as actiony.
Yeah, it was
Which
the
is-
denouements to get you down before the next proper.
Yeah, it was the
Kicking
rest,
sequence.
Yeah, the rest you desperately needed.
because it was a bit hype.
So when First Light came out, I was like, okay, it doesn't matter what price it is. I'm gonna buy it just because I would like to play this. I really want to play this actually because it fleshes out the universe a bit more. It fleshes out one of the characters who's heavily involved in the Second Son. I was gonna say first game, but that's kind of not correct.
I keep wanting to call her Flash.
It's Fetch.
Fetch, that was
Fetch,
it.
yeah.
Like a quest.
So it's basically it's like a prequel to Second Son, where it's essentially focusing on Fetch in the DUP's institution, Croydon K.
I can't remember.
It's alright. No,
Are you smoking your pipe, TK?
No,
Okay.
it's just doing lip things for reasons of lip things.
but you basically are sitting there with the
I'll try
main,
resetting it, hang on.
main antagonist from Second Son, and she's basically talking to you and saying, "Oh, okay, so tell us about yourself. Tell us about your past." And Fetch being Fetch is like, "Screw you. Why should I? Blah blah blah." It's like, whoa, all this time you never talk, blah blah. So essentially, she opens up. It's like, "Fine, I'll tell you then. Let's go." So you kind of learn about her origin story in Second Son anyway.
Yeah.
But it actually goes into in depth, and it goes prior 2 years to when the shit actually happened. So you start off. I don't know if anybody's played Second Son, and if you haven't, and you kind of don't want any sort of spoilers at the moment,
I technically haven't played it yet.
you know everything that happens.
Yeah, I know I've watched you play it, but I haven't played it. So,
But yeah,
the argument's invalid.
I'll give you a warning now. Like,
Spoilers!
I'm just gonna go on about Fetch's backstory. Doesn't really like ruin Second Son,
Yeah, it
but
doesn't
it
really
does
affect the
kind
main
of.
game, but it just gives you a little bit more detail of what's her shit's about.
But anyway, so you start off with her brother, Fetch's brother, who is obviously noted as very important to Fetch in Second Son. She's like, he was like, they were like a team. They were always together. He always looked out for her, no matter what, even though she was a conduit.
A bit like your guide in the name of the game that's now fucking escaped me because I tried to say it. Mirror's Edge. That's not the one.
Mirror's Edge?
Yeah, you've got the little guy in your voice piece who was like always there.
Oh, right.
And he was basically, I'm gonna look out for you. I'm like totally your brother. I was like, oh, you peasant.
Something like that. But so you start off the game and they're like, oh, okay, we got the payload now. Once we've done this job, we can go rent a place forever and sort of like be safe and not have to worry about anyone in South America, sort of thing.
Maybe even buy a condo.
Why would they want to rent a place forever? That seems like an awfully long time to rent for.
But it basically goes on about how their life was hard, how when Fetch was found out to be a conduit, that her mother and her father basically turned her into the DUP, who are the we look for special people, we hunt them, we capture them, we kill them if they don't decide to come with us.
As you do.
Yeah. Military sort of.
Well, when you consider what conduits are, they're big, fuck off, dangerous, superpowered people.
Yeah.
What would you do?
Well, I try something other than the cake or death option.
What? Cake or mild stomach cramps?
Yes.
Yeah, that'll do.
Well, it depends on who's cooking the cake.
But you play through, and it shows how Fetch is at the beginning. Fetch uses her powers, and she's not supposed to. There's like one of the rules she says between her and her brother was no powers, no matter what. And because of that, her brother gets kidnapped and taken away by a bunch of people called the Occurrents, who appear in Second Son, and they essentially are Russians who hate conduits.
No one likes conduits.
They wear tracksuits. They're very stereotypical.
They wear tracksuits.
I've got to ask one question though. Felis,
Yes.
are you wearing braces today?
Yes.
Yes,
I
she
had a
is.
feeling you were.
Yes, one of them is currently sort of the way I'm sat.
It's
become
escaping.
loose. What I have to do is
It does look like a bra strap. I will give you that warning.
for my waistcoat boobs.
Yep.
Oh my god, I've gone full Madonna. Continue, please, Alex.
So it essentially sets up with that, and it's from the beginning shows that Fetch has breakdowns every time her brother isn't around, and she can't think, and because she just can't focus. Especially seeing that she's an ex-drug addict who's like still kind of going cold turkey-ish.
Yeah.
Not cold turkey, but she's still like in withdrawal.
Mm-hmm.
And every time she breaks down, she gets a new power, basically. Like, as Augustine tells her, so your body's adapting. So you're learning to adapt. Your body, every time you break your mind, your body gets stronger. Right? To compensate, essentially.
Okay.
So that's the way of the game introducing new powers to you. Unlike the other one where Delson went around saying, oh, I want some new powers, I'm going to go absorb shit.
I'm going to take all these power core things and whoop, new power.
Yep. Now, it's interesting because we're playing with a power that Delson already has. And a lot of people have said to me, oh, well, all you're going to do is have the same powers Delson had. Delson got these powers already. But the difference between Delson and Fetch is that Fetch has obviously mastered these powers. And it's shown in Second Son that everybody who has their own power uses it a lot better than Delson. Because Delson only learns in a short amount of time. He hasn't had
He gets
time.
like power light.
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, I imagine he could get to the point where he gets the full power, but he has to
Not in
train.
the space of the game though.
No, not in the space of the game. That will be broken.
But quite awesome by the end game.
You get these kind of like interesting skills that you don't get in Second Son. So you get some rockets that heat seek. You get
What?
You get combo finishers, which is every time you like do certain things, Fetch gets a little thing that can stack up to 3 times that lets you basically finish an enemy quickly. You just literally zoom to them and do some flashy sort of like kick thing. She's actually really good at like martial arts for some reason, but I think it might just be
Because why not?
Well, I think it's because she has speed, basically. Neon is
I mean,
speed.
she was a pain in the ass when you were playing. He was like, catch, fetch. Oh, fuck. 10 days later, still catching fetch.
Yeah, even with her power, she runs a lot better. Yeah, but even in First Light, her run-in ability to get around the city quicker, she simply can run into these things that boost her speed power. It's pretty impressive. And the story goes that you're trying to get your brother back, who's been kidnapped. Now, if you play Second Son, you know exactly what happens to her brother. So you're going through the game, you're working with this guy who your brother was working with to get him back, and then this guy is then like, okay, we've taken care of these guys. I'm going to kidnap your brother, and we're going to work something out until I'm, taking over the city. So he forces you to do stuff. Then he betrays you because he's a dick.
Yep.
Yeah, you dick.
Brother's still alive, but he's like, yeah, no, I'm selling you out now because you've expended all your use to me. And the DUP have arrived in the city, and they're like, yeah, they want you. I don't want anything to do with you now. I'm going to go with them and help them.
Because dicks.
Even though I'm a crime guy, they don't care as long as they get you.
Totally
She
fair.
was really fucked over then.
Yeah,
Yes.
she was really, really fucked over by everybody, except for her brother. So the final bit of the game, it's a very short game. I played it in 4 odd hours, and this is doing loads of side quests as well. Like, I've done all the side quests. So it's for about 4 or 5 hours. The final bit of the game is you're hunting down this guy. You eventually find him, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna kill you now. Well, this isn't the final bit, actually. It's like right before the final bit. But you're like, I'm gonna kill you, and then he like obviously sets you up, kind of injects drugs into you, and you start trying you get attacked by a load of DUP guys. You fight them off, but the drugs obviously will take over you. And then Fetch has some like weird flashbacks about shit that's happened to her, and you start playing through them, and you start getting grabbed by like random shadows and things, and you have to fight them off. And it's only when like one of them starts screaming your name, and after you fought it off, that you realize that it's your brother and you've killed him.
Oh.
Because she's like blowing her energy into these guys to get her off of her, and her brother tries to obviously calm her down, but he doesn't know that, and you don't know that until after it as well. And then it's like, oh, you just threw a bolt through your brother's chest.
Oops.
The game did it really well because you know how Fetch's story works in Second Son, that she ends up killing her brother. She says that they get into a fight. She basically blames herself, but actually it's because she was fucked over, and her brother had like no ill will towards her at all or anything. It was
just circumstance.
yeah. And even when he's dying, he doesn't blame her or anything. It's really kind of sad. The guy gets away. Fetch gets captured because she's just sitting there when the DUP comes. She's just like, the one thing that kept her connected to the world is gone.
Yep.
And so after telling Augustine all of this in the DUP facility in current time, she then basically, oh yeah, well look, that guy you were talking about? Yeah, well, we have him over here. Yeah, let's what would you do now, sort of thing.
Yeah.
And this game is very much not Second Son in the sense that you choose who you are. This is a predetermined story.
Yeah.
Which is fine, because you don't really want to alter this character, because it's the character.
She's kind of preset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she gets completely mad, rushes at him, even inside this facility that's designed to keep the people in.
Yeah.
Blows like a huge explosion everywhere. Guy gets away through a hole in the wall, but she's out now. And it's in like Snowy Mountains somewhere. And he starts running. And you're sort of like not with it because you have no neon powers, because you've just literally exploded them all in like some sort of huge explosion of anger.
Mm-hmm.
Once you do find it, you start fighting through DUPs, trying to get to this guy. And once you do get to him, which you do after a while, you torture the fuck out of him. And the game lets you torture the fuck out of him. You literally have to press buttons and touchpad to kill this guy before you actually kill him. And it ends with her throwing the guy off of a cliff after frying him, and he just turns to ash.
Can you spend as long as you like torturing him, or is it a preset series of torture events
It's
before?
about 4 button presses.
Yeah, you couldn't
5.
extend it to 8 or 9 if you're feeling particularly malicious.
No, it is preset.
Okay.
Which is fine, because it explains Fetch as well. It's like very much Fetch at that point, before she met Delson. And it ends with basically the DUP, someone calling in to Augustine, who is the head of the DUP if you play Second Son, saying, we found Fetch. She's like killed she's killed what's his face. To which Augustine goes, okay, everything's gone to plan.
Ooh.
And it kind of makes sense when you play this game after you've played Second Son, where Augustine at the end of the game is essentially saying, look, I only took the conduits in to protect them because they would be killed otherwise. I know I did harsh things, and they live in harsh circumstances, but it's either that or death. So you kind of see the reason why she has them there, because she actually is training them to use their powers. She's training them to learn how to use their powers. So that possibly when the time comes
There'll be an army and take over the world.
Well, maybe not that, but
No. There'll be another game at least.
you can imagine them forming like a little
Police
city,
force.
city somewhere or something or other, where it's like, yeah, look, this is where conduits go. Don't fuck with us.
Maybe
me
they'll
down.
even migrate to asteroid M.
Take me down
There
to
you
the
go.
conduit
So
city.
did you enjoy going through last night?
Yeah, I really did enjoy it. I enjoyed exploring Fetch's story and her powers. Her powers are actually quite vastly different to what you can do with Delson. Like, I think every power is different except for the run. You essentially have more powered up stuff than Delson does at the beginning. Like, her run automatically is like
Max?
as Delson only can run for short bursts of beginning.
Because he's a pussy.
He's a pussy. It's just stuff like that. She can. They've tried to make it so that it's like, yes, this character is obviously more powerful than Delson. She has her own powers. She's a lot more interesting than what you have played already. And I think it's a good idea. I hope, I'm not sure if they will or won't, but I hope it does lead up to another opportunity to do either the other two characters that appear in Second Son, or possibly maybe even another origin story.
I would be interested in seeing Smoke Guy's story.
Or Hank.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Because video dude, kind of boring. It's like, yeah, most of us have kind of lived that life, except with the exception of getting superpowers. So, but kind of nerd who got picked on. I think we can mostly relate to that because we're all kind of nerds who probably got picked on. So, not so much of an interesting story for a video game.
Well, I can imagine. The thing is, Hanks is sort of the same in the sense that he is basically, I stole stuff, I was good at it, I was always good at getting out of jails. And then he got his powers and he was ridiculously good at it. I think they could alter both of those stories because they did it to Fetch.
A little bit of retconning here and there.
I wouldn't say retconning, but more like the character actually...
Expanding.
Yeah.
The character didn't... When Delson touches people and he gains their powers and he also sees into their mind...
You get the little flashback things.
Yeah, maybe they weren't showing everything, or they weren't accurate, because Fetch's definitely wasn't.
Oh.
And
Nice.
maybe some what-if stories as well.
Would you recommend this
Like
to
Vampire.
listeners who have purchased Infamous then?
Yes, definitely.
Would you recommend it to listeners who hadn't purchased it? Because this is a standalone title.
It is a standalone title. If you haven't played Second Son and you're interested, there is no harm in playing First Light, other than the fact that I've said a lot of stuff now, even though I told you not to listen.
Spoilers!
I told you not to listen. But yeah, I would buy First Light, learn Fetch's story, and then when you meet Fetch, you'll probably like her a lot more, but you'll be a bit pissed that your powers are shitting.
Yeah, there's that.
Dear me.
Del
Very good.
Is I'm going to say, the only thing I really didn't like about Second Son is the DUP. And every time we talk about them, my brain is just automatically substituting it for DWP, the Department for Work and Pensions. It's
Yeah.
so fitting. And it's only one little tiny character out. And it just easily clicks in my brain. And that's so annoying. It's funny, but annoying.
There's one more thing as well that comes with First Light when you buy it. It comes with an arena mode where essentially during the story, Fetch, it shows Augustine the power she acquired when she broke, basically when she lost it. To which Augustine goes, "You've been lying to me again. You keep hiding these things from me." And Fetch is like, "Well, yeah, duh."
And if you have Second Son, you can play as Delson
You
in
can
that
also
mode.
play as Delson, and it's basically a squirrel attack mode of survive the longest, or you can play rescue survivors while surviving. And it's actually quite fun.
Is there
really
online
is.
leaderboards?
There is online leaderboards. There are ridiculous scores already.
I can imagine.
So, TK, what have you got for Done and Dusted?
I can't remember my thing. It wasn't this week, it was from a couple of weeks ago. And I stopped it so I could review the Tuesday Dog, and I can't remember what that thing was.
Notes, people, notes.
Yeah, I don't leave them, or take them, or do anything. In fact, all my notes are for my fucking story project that I've been doing.
Dear God. So you see if you can remember. I have Hearthstone.
I thought you'd cover that on TigerTails Gaming. Oh, Pete, that's the thought. Oh, no, you already know.
Yes, I already know.
Cool, okay.
I have updated that there has been an update of the TigerTails gaming links and various other bits and pieces. If you want to follow us, you can find us on Facebook as well as Twitter and on TigerTails Entertainment, TigerTails Gaming, and various other links.
And TigerTails Radio. In fact, if you're watching the YouTube stream, our address is at the top of the screen there.
Absolutely, but what I'm going to do is just give a quick rundown of Hearthstone. I've actually started playing this a bit more regularly because I want to try and get into the habit of playing this as an online card game, because it's been an age since I've played any card games, for a couple of reasons. And I remember this from the World of Warcraft card game, and it is effectively the World of Warcraft card game transposed onto a computer with some changes.
Some. It's a different game, technically.
Some. So effectively you are pushed through a tutorial session to give you the basics. Once you've done the basics, you then have an opportunity to unlock different decks which are based on the classes in WoW. Mage, Warlock, Druid, yada yada yada. You can then rank them up to get cards.
You say based on WoW, I mean they sound like fairly generic D&D things to me.
Kind of. WoW is based off of the idea of generic D&D. I mean, you've got orcs, you've got the elves, you've got blood elves, you've got all this other stuff. And you can unlock basic cards for each deck. You can unlock shiny cards for each deck as you rank up. You can play in an arena versus people online in a casual sense or in a ranked match. And there is recently an expansion for solo content. So you can then play against harder bosses, if you will, to get even more cards. And you can also buy cards, although that's something that I've not actually bothered to spend actual money on. Now, in terms of the game mechanics, it's quite easy. I mean, it's just a case of you get mana each turn, you spend mana to slap your cards down. There are a few interesting mechanics for the card game in it. I mean, you have the summoning sickness, the traditional thing. You have people who can charge to ignore summoning sickness. You have people who are defenders who can taunt, power-ups, blah, blah, blah. You have your hero ability. But there's a lot of stuff from the card game that's been taken out. Like, you can't quest, you don't actually manage any resource at all, really. Your hero ability is a constantly available thing rather than a one-off thing. And all of the heroes really are the same, aside from what cards they have access to. There's not much huge variety, and there's no huge variety in other heroes that I've seen as yet, but apparently there are other heroes you can unlock, but I've not seen them yet.
You mean heroes of the same class?
That's the one, yeah.
Yeah, okay, yeah, no, it is very, very streamlined from what I've heard. And even though it is enjoyable, it's not the WoW trading card game that everybody knows.
No, it certainly isn't at the moment, but it does have a good chunk of tactics, bar the fact that there is no structure at all in your turns. So you can literally attack someone, no defense, okay, summon a load of monsters and attack, because that's legitimate. Whereas the card game
runs on the Yu-Gi-Oh! TV rules.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, if you look at the card game to the online game, as TK dies, the card game is...
I normally mute myself, but I forgot this time.
I'm waiting for the avatar to react. The card game is structured, so you have phases to do stuff, whereas in this, it's just literally a case of, I'll just do whatever, whenever. And the worst thing I find is that there are players on this game who play online who will sit there with a full hand, full mana, and contemplate over what you're doing whilst you're sat there going, that card that's on the playing field, just hit me with it and we can finish this farce. But no, we'll sit there and look at our hands for 5 minutes. Minor frustration.
Obviously.
The other big problem is, as TK's avatar does the lip thing again.
That's because I'm typing up the thing for tonight's podcast so I can upload it all properly. I do this bit during Done and Dusted now. It then means I don't leave it for weeks on end and forget. So I'm getting the site updated as we speak. Hence why the avatar's not that interesting to look at the moment.
The other issue I have is that if you're a newbie into this, you are just going to face off online against people who have cards. Like in the trading card game, experienced people will just have all of the cards, and when you go up against them, it can sometimes feel like, oh, we're just going to just steamroll over you.
It's okay, because you look at somebody's rank and you go, right, there's only one thing to assume. Google, top, Hearthstone, decks. And they'll be running something in the top 5.
Probably. Which is the other minor problem. It is still a card game.
It's the card game problem. All of the top decks
Yeah.
are all the same, pretty much.
Well, card game problem outside of Magic. That's the one thing, because in Magic, I've seen hundreds of different metas, hundreds of different decks. Whilst the professionals will have certain commonalities, it's not as bad as Yu-Gi-Oh! It's not as bad as WoW. It's certainly not as bad as a lot of these themed card games where it's literally this deck wins.
You know when I last played Magic, what my deck was?
Slivers?
It was a fire deck that basically involved around summoning a bajillion squirrel tokens.
Yeah, the stupid thing is that works.
It did back then. It so did.
But it's a free-to-play game. This is a free-to-play game from Blizzard, so you don't need to spend any money. You can earn enough stuff to get packs and things, and it's also a free expansion to jump into to play against the other bosses, so you don't have to spend the shit ton of money in getting the extra things. So for an online card game, especially when compared to online Magic, this is actually quite good, because there's no outlay at all to get in and play this game.
But then you've got to buy extra cards. And
You don't
that
have
gets
to.
expensive.
Well, we got to offset the lost WoW revenue somewhere.
Hey,
I
all
will
you
say
millions
that I've been
leaving
enjoying this, and I'm looking to actually play through this and keep it on the channel to show my experiences, because it's fun to be able to like go through this kind of stuff without having to phase out because I'm playing a shooter or something. I would recommend it to other people if you like card games. If you're not a fan of card games, don't bother.
Yeah, I think that's quite fair.
Yeah.
Going to reset the avatar. I'm changing position now, so I reset the avatar. It stops it from just leaning forward so weirdly. And hello to Yellow Spark, who's appeared in channel, although that was about 10 minutes ago now.
Channel.
Hello.
Hello.
I am not in there.
No, you're not.
But I am
Have you
in
remembered what you're
spirit.
going to do for Done and Dusted, TK?
No, so I thought, well, since we're using it, let's all have a quick chat about Face Rig. Since that's appearing on the screen for those of you lucky enough to be watching the YouTube feed. And
Yeah, I was about to make the same
watches go
sound
up.
effect.
yeah.
Oh God, what am I gonna-
It's actually a really nice piece of software.
Now, it's not mimicking everything I do because I've not turned on the lip sync. So it's literally relying on seeing my face move. in
I
order
think it
to-
just licked its own lips. I'm not sure.
I don't think it can at the moment.
No, I think it just looked like it, where it's just
Oh.
the mouth moves very slightly at one end and then to the other.
Yeah.
There is an option to turn lip syncing on, but where we've got 4 mics all going into that one PC, the poor little avatar would get very confused.
I'd like to see what
I want to see what happens when we do that.
No.
Especially if we start a drinking song.
That would
Yes.
be quite
Yo
interesting.
ho ho, a porridge life for me.
Well, see, what we can do as well is it'll take the live camera feed. I'm using the PlayStation 3 i camera, and it seems to be working reasonably well with that. It's not perfect, but then it is a standard def camera, and
Yep.
FaceRig really wants an HD camera, and it is getting a little bit dark in here, and FaceRig is beginning to struggle because it's getting a little bit dark.
Yeah.
Actually, it's getting quite dark because the shadow is all falling in the wrong place. It can cope with a little dark. You don't have to be fantastically lit. In fact, it would rather you were evenly lit. It doesn't matter if you're brightly lit or not so brightly lit. Just as long as you're evenly lit, it seems to respond better.
Yeah, well, it's supposed to be able to track face movement, eye movement, and lip movement. So really, so long as you've got enough definition of your face and shoulders,
Yeah.
then it will track that quite readily.
Despite the fact it has hands, or this wolf does, we can't actually get them to move yet. I don't know if that's going to be a thing that comes later, or if that's something that'll be needing a camera more akin to the Kinect to be able to do. But as we positioned the wolf on screen, we actually saw it cuts off at the bottom of the torso, and then just these arms keep going down till hands appear, and it's like, that's kind of freaky, because you could just imagine like entrails coming out the bottom and him just crawling along. Now,
Well, speaking of the Kinect, I mean, I can seriously see people utilising that with FaceRig.
Yeah, if
because
face
that
rig
gives
go
an
on,
extra layer.
yeah, if face rig go on to do a little bit more of a body as well in later revisions, say face rig volume 2.
Except that if you're wanting to use it with the more accurate Xbox One Connect, the standalone of that is costing about 100 quid at the moment.
Yeah, well, when you're using it with a PC, Connect is worth it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Connect with a PC is an amazing piece of kit. But it's just when you plug it into an Xbox, it all goes to shit because the software on the Xbox is bollocks.
So worthless. It's
What were you
always-
saying though
the-
about the pre-recorded stuff? Because you were talking to me about that.
Well, yeah, because it will take the feed from the webcam and try. It's desperately trying to see my lips so the mouth can do any kind of talking. Not too successfully. If we had the lip sync on option, then it would match my voice a lot better. But then it would also match Felis and Angel Duck Song and Xavier
I
whenever they
still
start
say you
talking.
should do it. It'll
Do
be fun.
it. Do it.
You're the guys in control of the mouse.
Do it.
We so fucking are, aren't we? Alex!
Yes, you are.
Turn on the lip sync.
No, you turn on the lip sync.
Rock, paper, scissors?
I'm.
Mute those two
I'm
whilst they
bigger than you.
bitch slap over it and keep going.
Anyway, so yes, if you don't happen to have a working webcam, but you do have a camera that you can record footage on, say you've got an HD camera with an SD card, so you can
Or
pre-record.
even a phone.
Or even a phone, you can well, depends how good the phone quality is, because I've seen some phone cameras are shite when they record. Drops down to 15 frames per second. Who has a phone like that these days? Peasants. But yes, you can take some pre-recorded footage in AVI format and feed that into FaceRig, and FaceRig will then take all the facial things from that video and the voice track as well, which is quite handy, and animate the avatar based on that. Now, at the moment, I got it slightly early because I was one of the backers from the campaign that were doing on the Indiegogo, I think it was.
Way back when.
Way back when. And so, yeah, I got that. He's not moving his mouth very much at all now, is he?
It's quite
Not very
dark.
much at
you'll
all,
tell
and
it,
there's
I'm
a bit
taking-
more lag than there was earlier.
More light in the face! Yeah. Now, this is still in beta, very much so. So, I'm expecting it to crash horribly before too long. He says.
It's lasted 2 hours.
It has
It's been very stable though. I mean, when you were showing it off when I was down on the weekend, it changed the avatars quite quickly. It followed you. It followed me from across the bloody room.
Yep. It didn't mind where you were, it would follow you. Which was quite good, actually. That was much better range than I was expecting, especially for a beta. Whatever.
And if you did add that to like the Kinect, being able to track your face from halfway across the room and lip sync as well.
Yeah. Especially if it could hear you. Even
Yeah.
better. Now, there are a number of characters that come with it. There's the bog standard, his name is Fluffo. He's the red panda that you see in a lot of the trailers.
Yep.
There's also some demons, anime girls, there's a vixen, there's this wolf, there's Moon, who's the non-anthro wolf.
Yep.
There is Doge. Oh, he's just sat there,
Doge.
looking at you.
Really?
It's a dog.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Much face rig.
Wow.
Many silly. And,
There's the talking burger.
yep, there is a hamburger as well. There is a hell demon. Because,
As opposed to
Why
the
the hell
other
not?
kind of demon?
yeah, demon barbershop.
Yeah. The one thing that I didn't
Yeah.
see on what you've got is the bit that they did for League of Legends, where they did an entire face rig for Elise in a spider and human form,
Well,
which I thought was a bit of a shame.
there are packs to come out, character packs. They're not releasing any of the copyrighted characters with the beta version. They're going to come out as separate packs, probably for a fee.
I'd imagine so.
And if they've worked out how I think it might, I get the first 2 character packs for free as well, because of my backing level.
Do you reckon they'll get Sonic?
No.
Sana.
They might do. I mean, the great thing about FaceRig is that it's kind of open in the way that you can create your own characters for it. If you have some 3D modeling experience and know your way around those kind of bits of software, there will be user guides and things coming out that will help you create your own avatars for this thing. Because
Sonic,
they wanted to
Mario.
expand. Probably a giant penis, because somebody's going to do that, aren't they? Goes without saying that somebody will
Yeah.
FaceRig a penis. It's going to be funny, granted, but someone will do it. There's also a dragon in here as well, which is quite cool. And so, yeah, as the updates keep happening every now and again, and the bugs get fixed, and it becomes more and more stable, and more responsive, I can see Face Rig actually going to be on quite a nice thing.
Yeah.
And just think, with enough PCs altogether, we could all be on Face Rig. Except it doesn't seem to work with Google Plus yet. Although I blame Google Plus. I don't think Google Plus supports virtual cameras yet.
No, that's probably because they just about managed to work with other stuff, really.
Bastards.
Well, they'll get there. So that's it for Done and Dusted. The last thing we have to talk about, unless Felis has something to interrupt us with.
Willies.
No, he doesn't.
Big floppy
Doctor
donkey
Who.
dicks.
Big floppy donkey dicks.
No, it's good because you corrected me because I actually said dumpy dips. For some bizarre reason.
You're lucky Alex yawned, I didn't hear you. I just heard big floppy.
We all heard
So,
what we
Doctor
wanted
Who
to
episode
hear.
2,
Yeah.
Into the Dalek.
Infinitely better than episode 1.
True.
Oh, God, yeah.
But then you could have dangled a sausage on a piece of string. And as long as
That's
Peter,
not a piece of string.
and as long as Peter Capaldi provided some acting around it, it would have been fine.
Well, this is the first thing I
But
will
what's
say
the sausage
generally
marriage?
about the episode. He actually got a character.
Sorry,
Sorry,
Pete.
Pete.
Yeah. In this episode, he actually got a character.
He had a character in the last one.
Yeah.
He had
Wasn't
a
this one?
wishy-washy floppy character. This one's a lot more stable and at times goes from being this weird forgetful guy to, oh, right, you are a dick then. Okay.
Yes. And we're all the better for it.
Oh my god, he's a more asshole version of Teller the Sage.
Well, it's like some of the lines. It's like, this is Clara. She's my assistant? No, that other word. Carer. Oh, yeah, she's my carer. She cares, so I don't have to.
Yeah.
And you sit there and go, shit.
Okay.
Okay.
I didn't. I was going, ha ha, that's hilarious. I love that line. Because, you know, me.
Oh, yeah, but when you then link it to what happens later in terms of when they get in there and the first NPC death, you suddenly go, oh, yes, you are quite harsh. Okay.
Oh, she's pragmatic.
Yeah.
And quite frankly, in the situation they were in, you didn't need soppy sentiment.
No.
I like how they're starting up a romance thing so they can quietly get Clara out of the show.
Yep. Well, she is leaving by the end of this series, apparently.
Yeah, they're clearly doing a lot of overarching stuff because yet again, we have the weird ass garden and the freaky woman.
Right after
Which
somebody
we-
died
You
again.
mean Nanny McPhee?
Yeah. Who's
I
clearly
know
on
she has a
something.
character name at the moment, but I'm going to insist on calling her Nanny McPhee for every episode.
But I think the interesting thing was what they were looking to try and do with the idea with the Daleks, and what they were trying to do with the Dalek they were dealing with. I'm not overly sure on my opinion on how it ended up, though.
What I'm
I
wondering
mean,
is,
I like the story, but it's like,
the one thing that bugs me, that Dalek, spoiler alert, sees inside the Doctor's mind, sees all of these things against the Daleks where the Doctor has destroyed countless numbers of them. Doesn't stop to think, wait, shouldn't we be remembering this guy? That seems a bit odd to me.
that's one of the little things that was a little bit of a bugbear. But it's the sheer fact it's like, okay,
then-
we've unlocked all your emotions and that, and then we're going to show you the inner core of the person who's solely responsible for destroying your race
Thrice.
several times over.
It does depend, though, because you say, shouldn't he be remembering about all other things? And it's like, when did Clara erase the Daleks' knowledge of the Doctor? Have we got to that bit yet?
Not sure.
I mean, we know it was with the Matt Smith Doctor, certainly, but who's to say that that isn't in the future? And where we currently at, they haven't got that far yet, if that makes sense. Wibbly wobbly timey-wimey stuff. So maybe that's why it's not a case of he's remembering all this, it's because he hasn't
But-
forgotten it yet.
We've also had the Dalek not actually recognising the Doctor on sight either.
Yeah.
True.
Well, he has just changed his face again.
Yeah. They always seem to recognise him, though.
Yeah, but this one was suffering from radiation poisoning.
Yeah, which was their explanation for him being a good Dalek, and then it was a
Yeah.
case of, but he could be a good Dalek, and it's like, no, he's still a Dalek.
You are a good Dalek.
Again, because we haven't
Dalek,
heard that.
have a treat.
But I mean, I love the episode. I think it's a bit of a shame that they had to pull the Daleks out for the second episode for a concept that you probably could have done with
But to
other
be fair,
stuff.
at least it was a more intimate Dalek story. They haven't pulled them out as a grand evil, episode yet.
Yeah. But at least this wasn't what I'd call a gimmicky Dalek episode.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's a lot more like Eccleston's Dalek episode.
Yeah. This was, there's Daleks in it, but despite the fact they're inside the Dalek, this episode is more about...
Yeah, I just realised that intimate was kind of a pun with that one, wasn't it?
Yeah, a little bit. It's more about the relationship with the Doctor and Clara and companions than it is actually about the Dalek. The Dalek is just the means to the end in this case. You with me on this one, Pete? Or have I
Yeah, just
completely
about.
Have I completely lost you?
No, I'm
of
just
course,
about there.
This is about the Doctor finding out if he's a good man, and and basically it's the Dalek saying, "You are a good Dalek," and it's like, well, fuck. That's
You are
not
a
quite
good
the answer.
genocidal killer.
And then
of
you have the
Yeah.
character contrast between some of the other Doctors, where the other Doctors would have been very angry they couldn't save a certain, a random person.
Yeah,
And this Doctor going, quick, eat this so I can track your corpse.
yeah. Eat this. I thought you were saving her. I thought you were saving him. No, I'm saving us. He's dead already. Come on.
I do like Capaldi. He's different Doctor. He's
Capaldi
going
is
to
brilliant.
be He's going to be like a known Doctor, not just for me and a pretty face.
People say that so and so is their Doctor, and
Yeah.
for a long time Tennant was mine. Yeah, Aladdin shifted. Capaldi all the way. Capaldi is
Yeah,
my
but
Doctor.
When you see Capaldi, you think, well, Tennant was good, but he was too happy all the time. All the time. He never really got angry.
That's the good thing. That's the
He
good
got
thing
sad
about
a
it.
few
I know,
times.
you did
Very
see the-
different Doctor to all of the previous ones.
Yeah.
The family was one of the bits where they showed the contrast between David Tennant's happy Doctor and the punishment's worse than death Doctor.
That still doesn't.
Yeah,
do
he
it.
had his moments of rage-induced anger. I murderize everyone because I'm the Doctor.
Smith pulled off the darker moments a bit better than Tennant did.
Yeah.
It's just the rest of the moments Smith wasn't particularly hot at.
Well, Smith was a different kind because he was more the fool trying to dance around the edge of the abyss and ignore the abyss. But
He wasn't dancing, he was capering with
was-
glee.
Like a
whereas
12-year-old.
we're looking, I suppose, with Capaldi as the person who's basically staring into the abyss, daring it to stare back, really, aren't we?
Blink, damn it.
Look at these
Yeah.
eyes. They're
It's
angry.
Not so much
No.
daring it as demanding it.
He's not only staring into the abyss, he's also flicking a cigarette into its eye and daring it to blink.
No
Don't blink.
comic slapstick that I noticed in this, though,
Good. That
which
was
was good.
an unnecessary addition to the first episode.
Yep.
Even if I did enjoy watching Clara getting twatted in the face. And have watched that bit many times on iPlayer.
Why don't they just bring back Tomb Raider chick from a couple of seasons ago? She
Which
would be
one?
a good. The one with the bus, the desert planet, woman who's some sort of Tomb Raider XP.
Thief, the thief,
Vague
Yeah.
memories.
who's famous.
Bring back River Song.
Now she's. I think it would then be Doctor Who
Oh, shit.
and the old people.
Oh, bollocks.
Oh god, why do we have to have young people all the time?
Because watching people do chase scenes with fucking Zimmer frames is not funny.
And
Yeah.
why?
Just think of how boring Dalek chase sequences used to be before they had jetpacks.
They ran upstairs.
Yeah, I know. But I am happy that, old Doctor, young companion, no romance is going to happen, like I said before. But also, I'm really not happy that they keep changing fucking companions every other season.
That happens.
That
You should
always
have seen the
happens.
old
No,
seasons.
the old seasons were they actually had companions that stayed with them for more than fucking 3 seasons.
Oh yeah,
Three
they
has
did.
been the
Then
most
either
so
they
far.
Died, they left. They got abandoned.
Or they got dropped off home, ended up being nowhere near home. Isn't that
Yeah.
right, Sarah Jane?
No, but still, they lasted for longer.
Well, we're looking at
Look at
different
the
things. This is
Brigadier!
now. This is,
Well, we can't,
this
he's
is-
dead.
This is now 8 episodes for a season, or however long. Whereas previously it was 3 or 4 episodes to
A story
a
arc.
story arc, and that was 4 or 5 in a year, if that.
You know, the seasons lasted for more episodes. I mean, how many are we getting for this series? 12, isn't it, or something like that?
So
8
wouldn't
to 12.
Hey,
Wouldn't it make sense to be in it longer because it doesn't actually take up as much as your time?
Yeah, we'll have to see. I mean, this is the second episode. It
Maybe they'll
proves
just
that
get pissed off
Capaldi
with
is a
Moffat.
good doctor.
Capaldi is a brilliant doctor. Yeah.
And it proves that there is some good writing in it, if perhaps the plots are a little bit wishy-washy.
Moffat didn't write this one, so this was...
Yeah,
Actually, he has a co-writing credit.
He has a co-writing credit because it was his idea.
And it was... Why does my brain want to say Brian Firth?
No, it wasn't Brian Firth. I could want to say Paul Ross, but that was for another story entirely.
Well, the thing is, next Saturday's is Robot of Sherwood.
Yes.
Give away the plot twist.
What do you mean, give away
That's
the
the
plot
title,
twist?
isn't it?
Like Into the Dalek.
Yeah. Well, Into the Dalek could mean anything. It's like the robot of Sherwood. Oh, great. So now we know. So it's gonna be, is it going to be Robin Hood? Is the robot? Oh, it is. Okay.
Well, it might not be. I mean, the Sherlock... Wrong fucking show entirely there. The Robin Hood...
The Sherlock of robots.
Yeah. That would explain a hell of a lot, actually, wouldn't it?
There's going to be robots. There's going to be...
That would be an awesome
Old
series.
I like that. He
medieval
actually has
fantasy
a... Sherlock of Robot actually has his own bowling league with Locutus the Borg.
Actually, imagining Sherlock Holmes as an android would be a pretty interesting concept. Makes you wonder what Watson would be. Maybe like
A mechanic?
a mechanic.
Yeah.
I was thinking
That
maybe
makes
more,
sense canonically, wouldn't it?
I was thinking more of a Roomba, but hey, whatever.
Though the last time I saw that thing done was the other way around. Sherlock Holmes was a clone and Watson was a robot.
Yeah,
I
but
like
at
that
least, I mean,
series.
let's put it this way: this Doctor Who season is at least showing good signs that it's going to be good,
I'm
even if
enjoying
it's
it more
all
than
pinning
Smith.
on Capaldi.
Matt who? Sorry? That's this series. This series has just blown the last Doctor out the water, really. It's like, here we have an actor who knows how to act. Ooh, shit. This is how good it can be. And even the terrible, terrible first episode was...
No, it's still terrible. I'm sorry.
Peter Capaldi saved it. He didn't make it good by any stretch of Doctor Who imagination. But
He's the reason to watch it.
yeah,
I
Everything
wouldn't
else is
say
irrelevant.
he saved it. I'd say that he made it tolerable.
exactly.
Yeah.
Which,
That is
given
not
that script,
salvation.
it is for that script, it's saving it.
So that's this week's episode, I think. Then
Yeah, we have covered TigerTails Radio in its entirety. And who's got control of the mouse at the moment?
neither of them. They're both staring into
I
their
can have
online
control
devices.
of the mouse if you want me to.
Go on then. Take control of the mouse, Mr.
What do you want me to
Fearless.
do?
First of all, get it onto my screen. I'll guide you
Well-
from there.
Wait, we
Okay.
still need to do. Yeah, let's just.
What? Just stop nomming on the audios.
I'm busy
Oh.
browsing 4chan. I can do what the fuck I want.
Right,
Oh, 4chan.
you got the mouse yet, Fearless?
Hang on.
No, he's nowhere near. He's still at his mic.
Okay. Right. Take the mouse and move it onto my screen. It is now, yep. Okay, go to the left. Yep, keep going. Keep going. Okay, stop. You've overshot just as I said stop.
Welcome to Nightmare on TV
Oh, yes.
screen.
Now go up. Stop. Now, did we go left to start with? Then go right. I'll come over. Choose a direction. Yeah, go right. Stop. Whoa, way too fast. Go left a bit. There. Click. Click again. Click again. There we go. Now the lip syncing is live.
Oh my god.
And it lip syncs to everyone.
Does it really?
Does it really?
Oh, God, it does.
Wow, what's going on with
Hello,
this?
I'm
Wow.
TK,
Oh my
and I like
God,
to wear
you
women's
just
clothing.
said nothing,
Oh, God, it's picking up his ears. It's getting more pissed off as more of us talk.
What's going on? His mouth is just keep on going. It doesn't even sync anymore.
Are we going to say goodnight soon?
I think we probably should.
Ah, did something just pop?
I heard a pop, yes.
I heard a pop. I think it might
I
have
didn't
been,
have both earphones in at the
It
time.
might have been the furry guy on the screen. I think he might have just popped.
Right then, so now it can't hear those two.
Oh, fuck, he's powering up!
For those of us who didn't hear that, if anyone, we just heard Alex going, wah! And Felix going, oh fuck, he's powering up. So, as you can see, when we turn the lip sync on, face rig works rather well, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
You made me sound so much more polite and proper with my, oh fuck, he seems to be powering up. I apparently, your version of me is Anthony Daniels.
And on that note, it is a good night from the Fearless.
Good night.
A good night from the Angel Duck Song.
Sayonara.
I swear they've swapped voices. I don't know what gives it away, but I swear they've swapped voices. A good night from the Savior.
Good night, all.
It's him who's popped. And a good night from myself, TK, debuting a wolf skin because, well, why not?
Debuting?
Debuting.
You mean debuting?
Debutante.
Ah!
Hang on, Pete.
At some piano, you could be debuting.
Debussy. It keeps up, it's weird.
Yeah.
Does the lip sync
I'm
work?
horribly lagging over you guys.
You are. Your internet's gone to shite, Pete. So, we say night. Oh, fuck, hang on. Wait a second, just before we say goodnight, I better get the fucking pissing noisy bit, hadn't I?
You mean the outro?
He's going to sing along, isn't he?
Yes.
I want to watch this.
This is going to be entertainment. So, as the wolf performs the national anthem, we say, night, everybody. Night.
Night.